Last season on Street Fighter League, we had so many rivalries, chief of which had to be IDOM, the silent assassin, going up against Punk the God. And I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, it delivered on all fronts. But everything culminated not in that matchup, but in Team Alpha 3 going up against Team NASR, and NASR was able to take the victory pretty commandingly, I might add, and walk away with all of the ducats. Congrats to them. But you know what true champions do? They do it again. They have to prove it, and we're immediately putting them to the test as they will be going up against Team Panda for the Season 3 Finals run back right here in Week 1 of Street Fighter League. And we also are going to have Team UYU going up against brand new squad, VODAFONE Giants. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a show on Week 1 of Street Fighter League.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for Street Fighter League Season 4, a brand new season with some brand new faces. However, one thing remains the same. It's the fact that me and Tasty Steve are going to be going through it again. My name is Vicious. We're glad to have you guys here for Season 4, and we have so much to go through. But before we get into it, yo, Steve, tell me how you're feeling today for this season, baby.
I am feeling amazing. It's always good to be on commentary again, talking about some offline Street Fighter with the bald eagle of commentary. Vicious out here. It's actually been really cool. I know we've had a lot of downtime, but watching just Street Fighter build up, watching CPT, watching the Intel Open, watching all these different events happen online, gives you a lot to look at when it comes to the backstory of some of these teams, what they're made of, as well as some of the newer players that are new to Street Fighter V, and some of those established names returning. This season is actually going to be crazy. You got players from new, you got players from old, we got a bevy of characters. This is a brand new season of Street Fighter V. We got new characters down there. We got
so many things to talk about.
We got new moves. We got new. It's a whole new world now, I feel like. So I'm really excited. I want to see what the world has evolved into. The Street Fighter world has evolved into in the offline space. I know what it looks like online. I've seen it. Congratulations to all our winners. But this is a different space.
It is. It really is. And I'm glad you mentioned that, right? It's a whole new world, so don't you dare close your eyes, because we have the teams that are going into Season 4 of Street Fighter League. Two of them are returning, and that is NASR with Big Bird, Angry Bird, as well as Problem X joining the wings this time around, and UYU coming back with Oil King, Kami, and NL finally making his way to the team. However, there are 4 teams that are slightly in the hands of newcomers and veterans alike in not just Street Fighter League, but in Street Fighter in general. I'm talking about Panda being one of them with Punk, Justin Wong, and NEPHEW, a very, very solid team. And we got BANDITS coming into fray with a newly powered team, MENARD leading the pack with his actual teammate CABA and training partner alongside VENATORI. It's going to be wild to see them back. Team NORDAVIND joining the fray, International Affairs, or as the UK folks would say, International Tings, with VEGGEY, Phenom, and Luffy. And of course, who could forget the big boys? VODAFONE Giants with Mr. CRIMSON, VEGAPATCH, and INFEXIOUS. It's actually pretty wild because, again, all of these players are world-class acts and are very much so well-versed in the world of Street Fighter.
Well, if you think about it, right, each season has kind of evolved what we've looked at, right? They've expanded the teams even more so. Now it's even more an international players ball, bro. Like, we're getting players from all over the world. And I said it before, but we're getting the best Street Fighter players here to show you guys off. But the fact of the matter is, these guys are coming from everywhere. You talked about BANDITS having that team synergy now. Last season, we saw CABA and MENARD on 2 completely separate teams, and I really feel like that affects them, right? The team synergy. And you take that and compare it to somebody like Punk, who you know always has some very close friends on his team, whether it be, you know, his team from last season, because now he's in a brand new stable. He's got Panda. He's got one of the best to ever do it. Justin Wizzy Wong is here for Street Fighter League, and I feel like that brings a different kind of air. We have the Mr. Crimsons. Bro, that's actually crazy. Coming up from an amazing Red Bull Kumite run, and just seeing all the advancements made by these teams has been so cool. I can't wait to get into this action for Street Fighter League Season 4. what more can you ask for? What more can you ask for? But we should probably talk about this format, right? Street Fighter League Season 4 is a 3v3 WASEDA-style team tournament. Teams submit a player order. If a player wins, they go to the back of the queue. If a player loses, they are eliminated. The match continues until one team successfully knocks out all 3 players from the opposing team, and that's how we get our team battle winner each week from both of these team battles that you guys are going to see. And you also need to keep in mind that ban feature is still in effect. That ban feature is going to be even stronger because, like we said, we have such a large pool of players from all over the world that the character variety is going to go through the charts. I mean, VEGAPATCH is a FONG player. Like, how do you prepare a team?
How often does anybody in the world of Street Fighter actually, pick up what FONG is doing? That's been like, the crux of a lot of Street Fighter 5 players in general. So that's gonna be very interesting, right? When you bring up the ban rule, there's gonna be so many elements in play because of the caliber of the players that you're playing against, right? There's just so many people that are well versed at this stage of the game. There's no way like anybody here does not have a secondary at this point.
Well, I mean, and also, if you look at the fact that Street Fighter V has been around for quite some time now, the roster has expanded immensely. And every season, that's very much affected what we've seen from a lot of these matches here. We've seen players in Season 1 get completely stumped because they only had that one character at their disposal. The seasons have progressed. The players have gotten better. The game has gotten older, and the game has even progressed. So now you got new characters to think about, new ways to play the matchup with the V-shift, as well as with the new V-skills. These are all things that are advancing with us during Street Fighter League. So I hope you guys are ready. Each and every one of these players has trained. They've even had their own little time together to get their team synergy up before they even got here, and that's across the board. I feel like this might be the best Street Fighter League season we have for you guys, and I dare you to find me better Street Fighter. I say it every season, and nobody's delivered yet because it's right here. What you're watching is the best Street Fighter to find, to be delivered, and I'm happy to be a part of it, especially with the homie Vicious.
I'm glad that you mentioned all of this, right? Because you guys definitely want to pay attention as the games go on. You want to take a look at these standings because only 4 of these teams will be moving on into the playoff spot where they'll be in contention for $75,000 and to be named the best team in Street Fighter League to face off against Street Fighter League Japan, baby. That's the big deal. That's the big ticket they're going for. Again, you guys want to make sure to tune into each and every one of these matches, starting with this one coming up very soon. But again, all of this wouldn't be possible, of course, without Astro.
Astro has been holding down the community for 10 years, and they are the official headset and mix amp of Street Fighter League Season 4.
Check it out with the Twitch panel below to pick yours up as well. They've been doing work in the FGC and continue to do so with their magnificent quality headsets.
So shout outs to Astro. Thank you guys for holding us down, and just the FGC in general. And Street Fighter League is gonna be amazing. I promise you guys that. But this team battle is going to be ridiculous, and I can't wait to get to it. We're gonna come to it right after this break. Street Fighter League Season 4 Week 1 kicks off, and it's gonna be a doozy. We got Vodafone Giants going up against the new and improved UYU 2021. I like to call it UYU 2021 because they got new team members. The composition's a little different. But the main thing that we need to talk about is Vodafone Giants. Mr. Crimson, VEGAPATCH, and Infectious. This team is actually ridiculous.
It's one of the more broken teams on the roster.
I feel like it's really scary because you have somebody like Infectious who's well-known, well-versed in the world of Street Fighter. So one of the highest caliber players we have out there, especially representing the EU. And then you have Mr. Crimson, who's most recently been putting...
He is on a hot streak, yo.
And then when you talk about team composition, you talk about the characters that you're going to see, having somebody like VEGAPATCH who has some of the most XP out there. I'm telling you right now, because these guys all have ran across each other, whether it be in tournament or internationally, and they have experience. So this team is going to be really strong.
VEGAPATCH is actually the one that kind of sent Infectious and Mr. Crimson into losers. Actually, he eliminated both of them at the Intel World Open, and now they're all part of the same team. That's actually kind of ridiculous because we talk about the ban feature. When it comes to a team like Vodafone Giants, it's like, do you aim at somebody like Mr. Crimson who's been hot all year? It's been Mr. Crimson summer, but do you also have to focus on somebody who is an expert at the craft with a character like FONG, who is really kind of tough to kind of manage as well? To be quite honest with you, in Street Fighter V, not a lot of folks have been focusing on this character.
That's one of the main points, right? We've already seen, 3 seasons now where having like a lesser known character could be a blessing or it could be a curse. I feel like because of the strength of the teams overall, this is a huge blessing. You're not going to be prepared to fight against a Fong, and even if you do, are you going to aim for it? Are you going to take out the Fong and worry about Infectious and Mr. Crimson sitting on the back end? That's a really hard part, and that's a part of the meta that goes into having this team dynamic. And I believe we have a word with Vodafone Giants with Rob TV.
We have the pleasure, the honor of being joined by a brand new team when it comes to Street Fighter League, the VODAFONE, or for the uncultured, the Vodafone Giants. How are you doing, fellas?
Great, pretty good.
Yo, you guys see, we have an all-star cast here. Mr. Crimson, VEGAPATCH, and of course, Infectious. Infectious, I believe that you will have to be considered the most accomplished player on the team. I do know that you are the team captain, although your teammates are strong as well. But your mentality when it comes to the game, I wonder if what you show is actually something that's rooted in sports psychology. When you always keep that serious robotic face when you're looking at the screen, even at Evo, you didn't seem to show any emotion even after getting big wins. Is it like a samurai sort of thing where you are consciously trying to reach like a Zen state, or is it just natural? Why are you so like emotionless and stoic?
Well, it kind of comes from me watching how a lot of Japanese players in the Street Fighter 4 days conducted themselves when they were in high pressure tournament situations. So Daigo and Takedo, and while the crowd would go crazy, they would stay very still and very focused.
Yeah.
And so I thought, well, if the best players are conducting themselves in this way, I've got to be able to train myself to be like that.
Daigo did that. Remember Daigo versus Justin Wong in Street Fighter 4?
Yes.
At Evo, because Justin reset the bracket and the whole crowd go crazy, and Daigo was just sitting there.
Exactly.
Man never moved whatsoever. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. So, Mr. Crimson, right now, you have to be having your best year. What has this been like recently, man? Like, you know, starting off with you running through Red Bull Kumite, and then now just having to run back with Adam with the exhibitions that we had a couple of weeks ago, and you won that as well fairly convincingly. What would you attribute this ascension to?
I think I enjoy the game more than ever.
Yeah.
Because of the meta, I think the game is really well balanced now. I think also the PC support make the game really comfortable, and I just enjoy, and my character also is really good, so I
like that. Which character are you talking about, Mr. Crimson? Which character is really good?
I speak about Dalsim, yeah.
Yeah, beautiful.
I enjoy to play this character. He's got multiple of tools, zoning, offense, and I just enjoy the game.
Yeah, I mean, of course we like to troll about Dawson and stuff, but I'm actually not a Dawson hater. I don't even think he's easily not top 5. Like, he's debatably top 10 if anything, right? But I agree with that a whole lot, and that makes sense. You know, you enjoying the game, then naturally you're going to be more creative and be able to perform better in tight moments. And speaking of tight moments, just the bright lights and everything, VEGAPATCH, I feel like as accomplished, your fame has been ridiculous for years now. Of course, I've been well aware. I remember watching you play Daigo, and I want to say that was it Combo Breaker? Or?
Yeah.
Combo Breaker. Yeah, I was there in person for that. But would you say that Street Fighter League right now, like this is probably the biggest stage that you're going to be displaying yourself on up to this point?
Well, of course, there's a pressure. It's the first time a Spanish team and a Spanish player have been in SFL.
Yeah.
My community in Spain, we are growing a lot. The issue right now is that we need more big names.
Yeah.
Let's say that.
Need more VEGAPATCHes.
If you wanted to say it like that. But we need more strong players to make an impact on the international scene. I think people are gonna be surprised with our team because I think we are a wild card.
Yeah. How does it feel going up against UIU? How do you think that you guys match up as far as player, character-wise? And do you agree that they're going to be coming out extra on fire because of circumstances? And Crimson, I'll give that question to you.
I would say that UIU is actually one of our toughest opponents, I think, right now because of matchups, of course, and players. They are really good, and they play their character until a long time, etc. Mm-hmm. So we study and we have a plan for everyone, and we're just gonna execute it.
Oh my goodness, Mr. Crimson, so extremely well put in. you know, as far as your execution, I'm extremely excited to see how you guys' plans unfold throughout this entire season. One of the most exciting teams in this league, the Vodafone Giants.
Talking about the team dynamic, these guys having a lot of experience playing against each other, most recently in that Intel World Open. One of the things that's going to be really strong going forward here, you talked about how MENA has his own team. I feel like these guys, having some of your rivals on your team makes your team even more buff. So that's going to be a good one. But their opponents, the new and improved UYU 2021.
Steve. UYU is a different caliber of players, right? With one significant feature. It is the NL feature. It's now part of Team Never Lose, right? With UYU. And you have 2 veterans in the game already, right? You're not just in Street Fighter League, but in Street Fighter 5. It's going to be interesting. I want to see what the ban choices are going to be like in terms of that discussion. I want to know what the player order is going to be like because, again, Kami and Oil King have been in this seat before. It was a very rocky place for them in Season 3. But I think with this player, NL, it could really spell the difference between getting into the playoffs and what they experience into Season 3.
This time around, they have a lot more diversity. It's not even the fact that it's the diversity, but NL is he's a cannon on a team. He is a cannon on a team. You still have Oil King and Kami. We saw what Kami did last season. Even though UYU did not do too well, Kami definitely made some of the most powerful steps in making sure that team actually did something. And one of my favorite players just in general, that's my little bro. I'm always going to support him. But just being on that team, definitely pulling some weight. I'm really interested to see what that team's going to bring to the table this season.
In fact, Rob TV does have an interview ready with Team UYU. Take a look at how they prepared themselves for this season of Street Fighter League.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have one of the most well-respected teams in the entirety of the FGC. I mean, I would say it's even getting to the point where, you know, they're growing huge in esports in general. And of course, the most fashionable by far, none other than Team UYU. How are you feeling, fellas?
I think we feel good, right?
Yeah.
Kami?
Feel good. Amazing.
My man, amazing. I'm not used to that type of like just super hot energy from you. So I guess we'll start with you on this one, Kami. We all know you to be, at least when it comes like toward like on camera competition, stuff like that. You're super calm, laid back. You're just a cool dude or whatever. Do not let that get to your head, bro. Relax. You know, but what is your actual mentality towards it? Like, do you kind of really like feel like it is what it is? Or do you have that same like fire as someone who's probably just happens to be a louder, more aggressive person like ANGRYBIRD, for example?
I think for example, like I'm so calm because like I don't really have like a goal when playing. Like, you know how some people like they play, they like, you know, I want to be the best or whatever. Like I kind of just play because like, you know, my friends play and I just enjoy playing. Like it's not my fault that me just naturally playing takes me to these situations or whatever. It just happens naturally. So like, you know, whether I win, lose, it's like, you know, of course I still want to win.
Of course,
But it's like, you know.
You're not overly pressuring yourself. But if anything, that probably help you perform even better. Because you're not like, oh, I'm gonna live and die and judge my
I feel like there's like I don't want to say like a toxic concept or whatever, but there's this thing in the FGC where they feel like everybody who plays wants to be like the next Punk or the next Daigo, and it's like some people just play to play. Like, you know, you're putting way too much pressure on yourself. Like, chill, it's not that serious.
Bro, that's so. I've never actually talked to you about that before, so that's really interesting to hear your perspective on that. A perspective that I had recently was when I was over in Poland, I was over in Poland for the Intel World Open. I was doing casting for that, and you put on arguably the best performance I have seen in Street Fighter 5 history. I literally mean that. It was up there, at least top 3. You destroyed Japan, like the best region in the world. Were you expecting that? And is that like a unique strategy? Just take me through the Intel World Open for you. What was that like?
I play well on first day. So maybe Japanese really want to get champion. So they little lovers. I think.
They late, right?
They lovers. But one day I don't lovers. I just do anything. It works. So I can't.
That's what it looked like. I'm like, bro, he just knows. It's like he's conceded or controller or something like that. Okay, so that, I mean, your performance there was out of this world. And, you know, Oil King, you know, last season you're the captain of Team UYU. As far as like how things went, the ban system worked against you guys tremendously. Of course, you know, you just happen to unfortunately have 2 Rashids and everything. So the season did not go how you wanted. How are you feeling going into this season Like, do you feel any added pressure from it, or are you just treating it like a regular season, one game at a time? Does the last season matter at all to you?
I think of course, last season is very unfortunate, right?
Yeah.
The result is not good for UIU, but this season I feel confident because me and Kami come back again, and we got my man,
Yes.
Just like you say, this season, the whole world knows Kami is non-startable.
Yes.
He destroyed everybody and very fast. You know?
Immediately.
So, yeah, and I think this season, of course, my rush is still good, and I think my sets, even sets this season got nerfed, right?
Yeah.
But I think my sets now become better. They know that. My sets become better and better.
Yeah.
So for this season, I think UI will be fine.
2 sets, the V-Trigger 2 usage is about to be out of this world. Team UYU, one of the most respected and fashionable teams in the entire FGC.
Very excited to see this newly reformed UYU to take on one of the newcomers and really kind of bring them in and be like, all right, this is hazing time. Let me see what you're about in Street Fighter League, right? It's going to be the VODAFONE Giants versus UYU for our first week of play.
Oh, this is going to be a good one. We got new players. We got new teams. The league is expanding. We're growing. And this is going to be a good one. Now, we already talked about VEGAPATCH and how strong of a player he is just based off of the fact that he has a Fong. We don't see Fongs in regular competitive play, not at the level of VEGAPATCH. I can tell you that right now. Kami typically been an Akuma player, and the last season we saw pick up the Seth, and the Seth actually got some W's on the board. I don't mean actually, but pulled out W's for a team that did not do too well. But here we go. The season opener. I hope you got hot dogs. I hope you got some SFL hats, because here it goes.
We need the foam fingers. Somebody make that a thing,
2021,
please.
baby. Let's go.
All right, so just to kind of remind you folks at home, right, the team order so far, it's going to be these two playing off, but the ban picks, right? UIU actually banned Dawson, and VODAFONE Giants banned Kami. So we're going to see that come into play a little bit later after VEGAPATCH versus Kami. Already off to a great start. You notice the V set 1-1 for the side of Seth to kind of go in for the offense and add that extra damage, because I don't think Trigger 2 would be as beneficial against someone like Fong. There's so many escape options he has using meter.
I didn't even think about that. Like the fact that Fong is a very evasive character, that V reversal really gets him out of a lot of danger, but not this kind of danger.
Evasive for how long? What do you mean?
You can only run for so long. Seth rocking the UYU outfit. Introduced to us in Season 3. What a cool way to add your own little team jersey to the game.
Let's go. Yo, Kami is at a whole different speed. This is a whole different form of him, because the last time we saw him in Season 3, he was very much so active verbally. Like, he would actually feel himself. He'd be like, you know, I've got this. This is going to be fun. I haven't heard him say a word since.
Hey, look, once again, I feel like this, look, 2020 UYU, 2021 UYU is now the powerhouse.
What a block!
My God, Kami with the block. Me in the air with the jump heavy kick, and just the way, the pace that Kami's playing right now. Wow, and
sick.
still use your own skill against you. But now you see VEGAPATCH slowing things down, and this is the kind of game Fong likes to play as a character. A lot of advantageous situations, can bait out a lot. Look at that. And on top of that, this character gets to poison you a lot of instances.
Oh, here comes the activation. I gotta say, VEGAPATCH did an excellent job of keeping Kami restrained for so long. But man, that bust out, that was such a risky play for Kami that paid off 10.
Oh, wow. This is actually starting. Oh, wow, gets the hit. Look at the damage.
There was a reversal on the side of Kami. The damage was more than enough with the poison stacking up. But VEGAPATCH keeping it tight with the meaty. I don't know what Kami went for, but I think it possibly would have killed VEGAPATCH. If you hit him with EX uppercut and then delayed it enough to get the Mad Cradle extension, it would have killed.
I'm thinking the exact same thing, in all honesty. But not going to be able to do it one round apiece in this first team battle. UIU versus VODAFONE Giants tries to go
Get out of here! Kami knowing full well what to do in this matchup right now, at least within the neutral. But VEGAPATCH, I gotta say, his patience is more than enough, I feel like, to take on Kami. We've seen it already with that second round, right?
The fact that Kami is using this V skill to really take advantage and put the poison back on Fong, that's actually pretty good. Gets the forward throw, back dashes. Okay. And just look at this, is the pace I feel like really does not benefit Kami. It really benefits this character Fong. That prone position, good spacing right there.
And I got it, man. I gotta say, his position.
Oh my God!
It's still juggled. Okay, never mind. It didn't.
Yeah.
That was more than enough. Yo, VEGAPATCH's control in that space was so smart. Kami showing that he's afraid of the V-skill. Like, I understand it's not going to be doing that much damage, but it does tick over time, right? You're taking that poison, like quite literally. Like, take the poison.
Yeah.
But you can tell Kami's like, I don't want to even give him that.
He don't. Yeah, that's if you notice, one of the things that he's been trying to avoid, he's been trying to like navigate a lot of the poison instances so you don't have to worry about it. And over the seasons, they've increased how poison works. Like, it goes down faster, so you have to be paying a lot of attention. If this match goes slow, Fong is the person that's in control of a lot of instances. So you see Kami trying to just navigate a bunch of these poison spots.
Yeah, but it's kind of interesting, right? It's one of those scenarios where it's like, do you take the throw or you just keep blocking, kind of, or you take the throw or you try to tech. It's kind of similar. It's like, do you take the poison or try to jump over it? VEGAPATCH has covered that second option so well and is like forcing that air and getting a lot of extra damage. It makes you really reconsider.
Oh, big jump in with the heavy kick.
Went for the full target combo. Didn't get like a big giant confirm, really, but at the same time, it did enough to push VEGAPATCH into this corner. Out of the corner, speaking of.
Yeah, that EX dash, another one of those evasive tools that we were talking about for Fong. V-shift to get out of danger. Builds a little space.
Ooh.
No V-shift break. Installing.
Trying to go for a trigger activation, right? Trying to go for that sweep.
Okay. Has to be careful right there. That situation after prone attack is a plus for Fong. You can't attack right there. Kami's been testing a little bit.
The delay after the kick.
Oh,
that
the
was
confirm
slick.
to the V trigger too?
Oh, you're catching him?
Oh, just raw.
That
mix
wasn't
it.
real.
Mix it.
VEGAPATCH knew that wasn't real either. But he did it anyway. The power of the king is revealed from Kami.
You have to check sometimes. Sometimes you have to make sure that your opponent understands the character they're fighting. Those fake block strings are a real thing in Street Fighter. They've been there for a while now. So being able to call them out is a talent that any top player needs. Wow, the cancel actually opens up VEGAPATCH.
Plus frames as well. Really mixing it up. Oh, again, he's getting a ton of mileage from this V-skill usage. Forward throw now.
The tides
that's crazy.
have turned.
He hit him with his own poison too.
Yeah, the tides have turned. It is you who is poisoned, Mr. Fong. Oh, wow. Thought he was going to go through to the other side. Opens up Kami. Look at the damage and the potential stun. The defense was solid, but only for so long. The first round was still looking good for Kami. Bad situation. That poison is still there. A gas line break in front.
Okay, this is going to be huge for Kami now. Despite that the deficit, he does have trigger activation. That could have been huge. He's going to do it through here. He's not going to anti-air on the other side. Oh, boy. Don't get smoked by the mix. That's plus frames. And the trade-off, yes, sir. VEGAPATCH had really nothing to fear that other than maybe an EX uppercut.
Be careful of the V-skill.
He wasn't going to risk it.
Okay, gets the poison once again. All right, Mad Cradle this time, getting a little better with the anti-airs. The thing about Fong is has a different jump arc, right? Has a very floaty jump and multiple hidden jump-ins. Not a lot of characters in this game have it, so being prepared to deal with it all the time is something that you have to get used to. Yo, that poison is stacking something crazy.
You see it, man. Again, jumping over the V-skill, and that's a really dangerous scenario. Look how much extra damage he just took, Steve, right off of the anti-air. Or the air-to-air, I should say, the plus frames afterwards. It's all VEGAPATCH. That is 2 games eliminating Kami from Team BYU.
And now, I don't know if you guys can see it in the studio now, the rest of the teams can actually sit in the studio and watch the matches unfold in person. It's been a while since we've seen each other in the old FGC, so it's actually a pretty good feeling to be able to sit around other people, hit some buttons, you know, hang out, and just enjoy the competitive nature, the tense rivalries in the air is something you always want to be a part of. But here we go.
In the beginning too, right? We're still kind of building up that tension. We see the kind of impact that VEGAPATCH has for his team, Vodafone Giants, and UIU is going to be taking notice now. In fact, they're sending up NL immediately afterwards instead of Oil King, right? When you're talking about the caliber of players that they have in terms of strength, I would imagine they'd want NL as more of a kind of like the pillar, right? He wants to be the anchor of this to kind of see some of the weaknesses from Vodafone. But NL kind of senses that urgency. He's like, you know what, I'm just going to go in. I'm going to try to, you know, set the pace early for UIU.
In this instance, you still have either NL or Oil King, right? Because you put Kami up first, you can get a feel for it. But now you got to deal with VEGAPATCH on the back end, right? So even if you have a matchup that you're comfortable with, you're looking at that differently because you still have to deal with VEGAPATCH. You have Mr. Crimson.
Both of these players are handicapped. Both of their characters were banned, right? So there's going to be no Dawson in play, no Cammy in play. But I've heard that you might have gotten some extra secret detail in regards to who Crimson might pick. Whether or not you want to reveal it, that's fine. But I will give you time. NL actually has been rocking Akuma before Cammy, and it did a fantastic job with that character. I believe there was a West Coast tournament he actually got first in with that Akuma, with said Akuma years ago, and I'm pretty sure he's been rocking it just in case of a situation like this, right? So NL, I'm not too worried about it. Does have a solid character under his belt. I'm more so concerned with who Crimson has in the wings.
For those who don't know, NL is just a ridiculous player in general. We've seen the Cammy, the assassination Cammy on display, but the Akuma is just as dangerous. Also,
the assassination fist,
right? Mr. Crimson going up against NL, and once again, I dare you to find me a better Street Fighter. These matches are only available on some CPT high-level offline stuff, and you get it right here for Street Fighter League. Let's go. The UYU Akuma.
It's already off to a great start. That's going to be huge going in for the jump in. Actually opted to go for the dive kick. Didn't think, you know, Mr. Crimson was going to go for the standing heavy punch anti-air.
I think that's the reason you do dive kick, right? You got to throw off the timing, right? You change up the trajectory just to make sure you're not comfortable. G has some amazing anti-air buttons, but you
standing heavy punch is definitely not one of them, though, right? Mr. Crimson was focused on the ground. You could tell he was preemptively throwing it out there, but NL doing a fantastic job of keeping him contained either way, right? We were looking for a lot of the buffers that G possesses, right? He does have some of the best light normals. He does have very sizable medium normals that reach from further out. That's exactly what NL was keeping track of, right? Now he's focusing back on air and the ground game with the fireballs, but Mr. Crimson using great work with that piece skill.
Forward throw. Things starting to take a turn for the better. Mr. Crimson, you know, can play super patient, right? Because he's a Dawson player. And there's the stun. You got to be too patient to wait for this stun, though. Big damage on the table. Stand light kick. Reset.
Oh, that was so
damage.
sick.
V-shift to get back in the bait out. Like I said before we got here, somebody like Mr. Crimson playing Dawson knows that they have patience, knows that they have the execution. G is one of the best things you can do for your gameplay. Definitely a backup character that you should want to have. And in Street Fighter League, you know it's a valuable pick. Target combo.
Just fine, right? Being able to counterpoke like that. Again with the V-skill. I feel like that was mad preemptive.
Hey, that's the second time we've seen it, and it worked out. Okay, command throw not going to work out. NL a little too mobile for that one. Gets a big combo.
Yes, sir. Does have full critical object, so maybe like a touch and a half. But this is going to be dangerous, right? Trigger does get max presidentiality level. NL was not checking his legs 2 times in a row. You're going to be eating a lot of damage, if not dead.
One more hit. Got to watch for the overhead.
I was going to say maybe an overhead.
But you know NL's looking for that. Just playing it very calm. You're in a dangerous situation right now.
Oh!
The long overhead.
My man turned a full 360.
He did a full 360. He's like, sir, do you clean shoes here? You look like a vagabond. Can you clean my shoes for me? I got some place to be.
A vagabond. Can you shine them for me?
Can you shine? I see you got some rope on your hands. Can you shine up my shoes here, sir? Okay, low forward this time.
Excellent confirm there from NL, being able to get a little bit of that. But damn!
Just raw challenge with the stand medium punch? Mr. Crimson is like, you're going to have to make me fear you, NL. You don't have Cammy. This new Akuma ain't what he used to be. And G ain't changed too much.
Another bit confirmed. This time doesn't miss. 2 for 3 so far in this round. Forward throw to kind of move him back over there. Gets him with the raw demon field palm. There's the activation round from the dash. Oh, checking with the lows afterwards, making sure NL does not get caught by the movement. The block is there, but still the contest with that standing jab. Full trigger available. And Mr. Crimson knew it. He was so on point with that.
Now you're dead.
That's so smart. Like, G doesn't have the best block speed, but he was still able to call out NL in that very instance. When you saw that whiff sweep that is 100,000% intentional, he's like, this is the time NL would want to go into trigger. And man, that was such a brave and smart, calculated call out from Mr. Crimson. As good as this is going for NL right now, G is just so explosive, right? He's never dead until he's actually dead.
Well, he should be actually dead here if played correctly. At least another guess, right?
Fireball.
Another guess right here. Guess for your life.
Ooh.
Okay, NL not out of this yet. NL not out of this yet. But this is the scary part of it. This is still set point. This is still set point for Mr. Crimson. And this would also put Vodafone Giants up Steve! Oh my God, the anti-air reads with the V skill. I said this before. Okay, good punish. I said this before. If you have a G, you are good to go. Street Fighter has always been about matchups. Oh, nice anti.
And that's so far away. Yeah, talking about matchups, right? You're talking about G versus Akuma. Akuma can get lit up pretty frequently and in a high damaging way.
Oh wow, the delayed staggered pressure with the medium punch still finds a throw. NL is in a bad spot right now. Kuma's not looking too good, and this is set point.
Man, Mr. Crimson's game IQ is just so up there. You can see the situational awareness, right? Fully loaded NL, he doesn't want to go into it, but he does manage to find a trigger.
Oh.
You try to steal your turn. Yes. That's the thing, like, I was gonna say, with Mr. Crimson, he understands your tendencies, he knows the reads, and that's probably like the biggest threat you could have on your team. Is not somebody who could play the game very well, technically. Yeah. Somebody who's got the mental fortitude to understand and pick up on some of these reads against other top players is somebody you want on your team. This is why, you know, both of these players had really hot years, but there's something about Mr. Crimson right now that is standing out against NL, right? Even despite having the secondary on deck for both. I think Mr. Crimson's understanding of the game in that situation was far higher in NL just for this sequence, or at least in this matchup alone.
Well, I mean, I feel like that's a lot of people look at that 2-0 over NL with the Akuma. Now, I've touched on this seasons before. Cammy B is a character that you need to know how to fight in the world of Street Fighter V. Right along with that is Akuma. Akuma is a character you need to know how to fight in Street Fighter V. They've changed this character a lot over the few seasons to make him even him out a little bit, man. A lot of people felt like Akuma was very overpowered, but even still, he's still a threat. He's still a character that you need to know how to deal with. NL not going to get that set. 2-0 going right to Mr. Crimson in this first team battle of Season 4, and now everything is really on the shoulders of the last remaining UIU member, which is Oil King.
It's not going to be his first time in this rodeo, though, Steve. He's been put in this anchor position before with other teammates. Now it's going to be a question of who he's going to be using to face off against someone like Infectious, right? When was the last time you actually saw an Infectious versus?
But will we get the Rashid versus Zeku? That's what the real question is.
Zeku in the hands of Infectious. Did we have a Zeku last season? No,
we ANGRYBIRD, but did we see
it? We didn't see it, no. So ANGRYBIRD had it, but he rocked set majority of his games. That's the thing.
No, you're right, though. You're definitely right.
This is a character specialist Zeku in the hands of Infectious. Yeah, again, ANGRYBIRD definitely had it, but it was a different season.
I also feel like this matchup, Rashid can definitely keep up with the Zeku, right? It's all going to be about managing both those stances. Infectious known has guides about playing this character and has a very thorough understanding of how to switch between both regardless of the matchup and just utilizing that space. Very intelligent player. Fundamentals are ridiculously strong. Knows how to break down a situation and find an opening. Even if you're fighting somebody like Oil King, known for the spinning mixers on Wake Up, right? Known to keep you on your toes, especially with a character like Rashid who has great movement speed on the ground, great normals to get you in, great specials to get you in, to find the gaps in the defense. But here we go, Oil King.
Tried to get an interruption there between the tornado shot, or whirlwind shot I should say, but it's going to be more than enough for Oil King to get this W. First round going to Oil King. Oh God, hey, I wasn't done with that.
Bison's gonna kill me. I was supposed to fix that 2 days ago. It's gonna kill my family. No.
That's another paycheck. So we're starting to see a little bit of control, more so on the side of Oil King. Already pushing Infectious into this corner, but full critical art is on deck. So we're going to see the back throw first. Is going to utilize any of this meter for the grams, for extra damage. It's mostly going to be off of an open. You see him buffering away with that low medium kick, right? He's really checking Oil King to see if he's going to choose movement as an option. But instead, spinning mixer is a way better option than just trying to dash up. Yeah, at least in this space.
So the thing is, if you notice, like Oil King's playing at this range right outside of Gram, right? Like the longest distance Gram range. Looking to react to some jump-ins if need be. And since there's no Young, you don't really have to check and worry about the dashes as much, but there's a quick switch. That's going to make the ground game a little easier, but now you see Oil King just going all the way in.
Yep, took advantage of that slight hezzy going into the switch. That's the time for you to go in. But the thing is, now you have a character that is pretty well versed in close quarters combat, right? Zeku does a really great job of kind of intimidating that mid to close range, connecting a good amount of damage and good conversions. But so does Oil King and Rashid, right? I mean, Rashid's been doing that since season 1.
Right? I mean, and then if you look at the fact, it just means that now Zeku can contest with it. Like, has the foot speed to deal. You're going to see a lot more buttons in neutral. And now you see still Oil King playing back. You got to be careful of the slide in right here, right? Trigger is on the table for Infectious, so if you find something, at this instance, it might be trouble, but it's only 10 seconds left on the clock, and the lane game is going to work out. And now if you could just hold back, Oil King just jumping back 2-1 on the clock. Gonna use the time and the CA activation to get a time over. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I never thought I would see Oil King get a time over victory. That's not what I typically, you don't see that.
It's in the shorts, like Steve. He keeps it cool. That's the thing.
Damn. I mean, he might.
The higher the shorts, the cooler you are.
I mean, that's where you get the breeze, you know? I mean, I completely understand that.
Says the guy who wears nothing but pants every day. What are you talking about, Steve? Never seen him in shorts in a day in my life. Don't believe anything he says.
Oh my god. So we ain't never been to the gym together?
Never ever.
Okay.
You wear the joggers, bro.
Not wearing joggers. Anyways, crouching heavy punch.
I've never seen his legs, chat. All right, here we go. It's the next game. Again, it's a very valid point, right? Oil King has had full control, right? Being able to see a different side of him. He wasn't as aggressive as we're used to seeing him, but that's great. It's even better.
Yeah, just to switch up, knowing like when to go in. This is a complicated matchup because even though you don't see many Zekus, Infectious is possibly the best Zeku out there at this point, especially just being a character specialist. Being able to deal with both versions, young and old Zeku, let you know that somebody like Oil King's definitely done some research.
We'll see, man. Infectious, again, being one of those calculated minds to really take in some of the losses that he has. Damn, that hit towards the last active frame. That was cool. Oh, and you're spending it? This is great because we saw what transpired last week. If you don't spend that cash, no matter how big your life is, it could all go downhill pretty quickly.
Hey, man, I always say, scary money don't make no money, man. You got to spend that. You got to spend that meter.
What can you do again? Here we go into the next round. Infectious already making the adjustments and spending that critical art pretty early. And that's great, though, because Oil King only has like a single bar on the side of his field, or at least the side of his meter right there. But again, it's an excellent choice. You can close it out. But stuck in this corner already.
Medium kick right there. You see that standing heavy kick starting to come out from Infectious. That's because the range is getting a lot. Oh my gosh, the air-to-air. What are you doing up there?
Big interruption there from Oil King, too. Just knowing full well when to back off and not overcommit. Man, sneaking it in there. That could have been a throw. It could have been a big frame trap, but still.
Oh, crouching. Medium punch goes straight in the B trigger, too, and the side switch. EX booshing, and there it is.
Oil King. Perfect timing for the EX spinning mixer.
Whoa.
You can't get away from me.
Tries to get the throw. Oh, that trigger still active. Cancels the EX2 V trigger.
You still pressed light, and you tried to go for the Oil King again.
Now, one thing about Infectious, who hasn't blinked since this match has started, I can tell you right now, always paying attention. I feel like you have to be paying attention if your eyeballs are just dried out from not blinking this whole time.
See, now that's all I'm going to be looking at.
It looks like a GIF, bro. It looks like I'm looking like a GIF on Twitter or something like that. It just stayed.
He does not move from his seat. I feel like he doesn't even breathe.
Right.
I don't even know if his eyeballs are moving back and forth. All I know is it's tied 1 apiece between these two. Infectious, again, making those calculated reads and making those adjustments as well. What was that, 2-round streak?
Must-win situation here for Oil King. He's got the team on his back right now, so it's still going to have to fight VEGAPATCH and Mr. Crimson, even if you get to this very tough situation versus Infectious in the Zeku.
Quite it's a real tall order, especially considering who you're facing up against right now with Infectious and just those other two in the rafters. VODAFONE Giants looking like a really powerful team, already out the gate against Team UIU, but we'll see what happens, right? Oil King is still pushing Infectious into this corner. However, it feels like Infectious is the one that's in control. The side switch happens there, but finding an opening is Oil King.
But this match is slowing down, and it's when the old ninja's on the screen, so that makes me feel like this is something that Infectious would like to keep up. Oh, big crush.
Damn!
Graham. EX Graham. Those combos look so sick, by the way.
I love ending it with like the run into that kick. Just in general,
the
how it hits
kick,
both times over. That's
Oh, checks the roll. This is not going well. Goes straight into B trigger 2.
The slide is enough. No, it's barely keeping Oil King alive. I thought it was going to be enough. Full effect. Do not jump on this man. And it was a good call. It was a good call either way. I think Oil King was looking for maybe like a gram at that timing, but Infectious, he wasn't going to overcommit or overextend, I should say.
But this is what I'm talking about, man. The slower this pace goes with the old ninja on the screen, that's how you know it's working out for Infectious. Wow.
Can we talk about that call out too?
Right.
Spinning mixer, his spacing was perfection.
Yeah, crouching heavy punch.
He did it again, yeah, spacing with the ground, immediately trying to go. What in the world? You gonna punch him in the teeth?
I'm not sure what that was.
New dental plans.
Dental plan.
Sweet chin music. Checking with the lows as well. Oh boy, side switch incoming. You're gonna get a little bit of extra damage, spending it for the slide. Watch out the back wall. Ooh, EX Eagle spike.
You cannot do that, and that's gonna be the first team battle of Season 4. Vodafone Giants making a statement, taking out UYU 2021 3-0. Dawson was the ban pick. Did not work out, didn't stop G from getting the W versus NL. And what a read also. They put Mr. Crimson in the middle with the G versus NL. I feel like a part of Street Fighter League is seeing your desired matchups, right? Guessing where your opposing team is going to put a desired matchup. And whether it's a blocked character that you're fighting against, just trying to match the skill level of some of the characters, right?
It leads to a whole bunch of questions too. It's just like, okay, well, who would you rather have fought if it was NL, right? If you really wanted to kind of think about that, do you think Akuma is going to be strong enough to face off against someone like VEGAPATCH? Was it going to be strong enough, like, you know, who has their names? Was it going to be strong enough to take on someone like Infectious Zeku, who's played against the top Akumas in the world, right? Again, I will say your Akuma is strong and powerful, but you've been focusing a lot on Cammy, so I will, by default, say it's second shelf in comparison to what you've been doing this year for NL, at least. But fact of the matter is, you still had Oil King, you still had Kami, still both very strong characters. It was just a matter of really choosing the right spots, and it's kind of hard to tell this season because everyone's a killer. It's going to be really tough to say. I think with the two veterans like Oil King and Kami, they should be able to talk it out with NL. Be like, look, man, our order wasn't too hot this time. They called us out, so let's take it into consideration going forward.
Yeah, that is something you really have to consider. I mean, once again, this is the first team battle for the new and improved UYU. They will fall to Vodafone Giants, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. But I will say, before we go any further, I want to say shout-outs to Astro, the official headset and mix amp of Street Fighter League Season 4. Supplied all the players with these A40 headsets, and they are actually ridiculous. I'm telling you right now, I use them at home. They're using him for Street Fighter League, and you can get your very own. I promise you, they will not let you down. Shout-outs to Astro for making sure Street Fighter League, as well as the FGC, stays with the best hearing out there.
We highly encourage you guys to check it out with the Twitch panel below to pick yours up as well. Man, they've been around for a while, and there's a very good reason. Again, the A40 headsets by Astro has been the biggest supporter of the FGC to date. And now we're looking at the winners as well going into it with Vodafone Giants. I do believe we have Rob TV getting ready for an interview, actually, with Infectious, of all people. I wanted to know who it was going to be, but it's actually Infectious, the man who has no emotion. Let's take it back to Rob.
Now that is how you start a season of Street Fighter League, and that's how you start a legacy in Street Fighter League, because that was the first match ever for Vodafone Giants. How does it feel to start off with a 3-0 clear sweep?
This is going to be a tough competition, and starting strong is a real boost of confidence and morale for the team. Everyone performed brilliantly and couldn't be happier.
So you actually went with the Cammy ban in this situation. Of course, they went and banned Dawson. What was the thinking behind the Cammy ban? Because of course, NL is a player that has pretty much two main characters. You know, his Akuma is extremely strong, but of course, Crimson was able to get it done. What was the theory with the Cammy ban?
Well, NL's Cammy is extremely deadly, perhaps the best in the world, and he's been very confident in his Cammy. He's been practicing her a lot, and we felt that if we banned Cammy, that perhaps would set him back and force him to have to play a character he's perhaps not put as much effort into, and we'd hopefully be able to capitalize on that.
Okay, so and then the last match, of course, your teammates are doing amazing. We had Mr. Crimson go ahead and with the G, mind you, no Dawson, putting in work, getting the W over NL. And then, of course, VEGAPATCH starting off strong. The beginning is important as far as getting that ball rolling, getting that W over Kami with the Fang versus Seth. But regardless, this is Street Fighter League. One player can win it all, OCV, and you had to go up against the team captain, Oil King, at the end there. Of course, you had your Zeku. You guys are both at full power. I noticed that you went a whole lot with the old Zeku right there. What was the theory, you know, as far as going with old Zeku in that matchup? And, you know, how did you feel going up against Oil King in general?
There are a few different ways you can potentially play that match, and I thought about previous times when I'd played Oil King, and I generally stuck to that strategy, so I thought I'd use the same strategy I've used before and see if that was able to help me this time around as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, of course, the one and only, not just Infectious, who's looking amazing there, but the whole team, Vodafone Giants. I would never just oversell just to make them look good. These guys deserve it. One of the better teams here at Street Fighter League, a whole lot of character variety, but please understand that we are just getting started with this season, as after this break, we have Team NASR going up against Panda Global.
Back like we never left into Street Fighter League Season 4 with our next battle coming up. My name is Vicious here with Tasty Steve, and I'm telling you, man, we just got started, but it's still going to be non-stop action, man. Who do we have on the docket for the next match?
We have the brand new team added to the roster with some familiar faces. Is going to be Panda versus last season's champions with a new spice, the Problem X. It's going to be NASR versus Panda. That's going to be your second team battle. Week 1, and this is interesting. We have two. First off, this is a run back, essentially, right? Different team names, two different team members, but this is a run back from the finals that we just experienced.
That's true.
But I feel like a couple of the puzzle pieces are a lot more significant this time around.
I mean, don't get me wrong, right? CJ Truth had a phenomenal Season 3 of Street Fighter League, but now you have a veteran coming in from Season 1.
That's true.
One of the former captains for Street Fighter League, Justin Wong, recipient of the Lifetime Achievement Award for eSports class,
deserving.
man. I'm telling you, this guy is the champion caliber player. And you're talking about the team that he's going with, right? You have the best of the West with NEPHEW, the best of the East with Punk, and the best of both worlds, Justin Wong. Because he's done both.
Having somebody like Justin Wong on the tail end there that's bringing literally like 30 years of video game fighting experience to a team, one thing. Also, he just had a child.
Dude,
he has an entire family. But it's a different world now because Justin Wong is back in the game. This is a lot of people's generational, like Michael Jordan of fighting games in some instances. Justin Wong is ridiculous.
He might be one of the reasons. He is half the reason why you know about fighting games. He's half the reason why you know about Evolution, and he's half the reason why you know about Street Fighter, because of this legendary performer, this legendary player, I should say. Justin Wong being back into the competitive scene is something that we've been wanting to see, right?
First and foremost, we're going to go to the stage with Hollywood Rob TV and an interview with Panda.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am joined by everyone's favorite FGC team, right? When you look at what Panda Fighting YouTube channel, things of that nature, guys, we are here with none other than Panda Global. How's it going, fellas?
Good.
Good. Thanks, Punk. Oh my goodness, that's just so enthralling right there. Well, regardless of Punk's weak ass answer that he just gave us right there, this is far from a weak team when it comes to in-game or outside of it, with all of you being huge content creators. And Justin, it's kind of hard for me to even explain, like just to put into words. I mean, you just got what, an eSports Lifetime Achievement Award, arguably the GOAT of our space. Justin, how does it feel to return to Street Fighter League?
I mean, I think the award in general is kind of pretty cool. I didn't know about it. I was like literally in the shower, and then I just see notifications, and it was pretty cool. I think the whole Lifetime Achievement Award means it's kind of like I retired-ish, you know what I mean?
Yeah, low key.
Right, I retired-ish. But I mean, they're not like almost wrong. It's pretty close because obviously I do the whole family thing. But I've been watching all the seasons, you know. I've been watching all the Street Fighter League stuff, seeing Punk and NEPHEW just going in. Even you, bro. You know what I mean? You're killing it too.
Thanks, bro.
But just in general, it's nice to be here.
Punk, of course, you are a veteran of Street Fighter League at this point. You've been here every single season, always putting on amazing performances. But I don't even want to ask you about in-game, man. Something that I'm super proud of you for. You've won almost every tournament there is to win, has done so much amazing stuff in-game, but still choose to grind day in and day out on the content side of things on Twitch and YouTube. Like, can you speak to us about like what inspired you to do that? And you know, at this point, is that just a natural thing for you or what?
I mean,
I think like I was inspired by Smug and Justin. They like two people who, you know, Smug always told me I should start a YouTube channel like years ago, but I just told him like I didn't feel like it. Like I'm not doing that, bro.
Yeah.
So, you know, and then Justin just like he's been grinding for so long and he plays professionally. It's like I don't know how he juggles so much stuff all the time.
It seemed impossible at first.
Like he has so much like regular job. Like it's like I don't know how you doing all this. I can't, but if you know they can do it, and I feel like I should be able to do it too. And there's no real excuses, right? So, you know, they kind of inspire me, and I just, you know, it's had fun. You know, I like streaming. I like talking to my Twitch chat. I love the Alpha Academy. They fun. You know, it's fun to be around them and, you know, stream and interact with them. And it's kind of like family. You know, you get to know all their names and, you know, they just cool people.
Yeah.
So I enjoy streaming and YouTube videos. I just like reading comments on my videos. It's fun. So I always like the comments people, you know, whether it's good, bad, funny. Like, I don't really care what it is. It's just like all comments is good to me because I like all of them. If you're talking trash about me, if it's funny, it's funny, you know?
That algorithm like them too.
Yeah, so like I love everything, so I think it's really fun, and you know I hope more people can start doing it, and maybe I can inspire some people also.
Yeah, you know, I'll tell you what, a player that's been, I feel like, inspiring people as of late is none other than my brother, Dark Neff, you know, the God, Allen's son. I feel like a lot of people didn't have you at the same esteem that they have you at now. Like, I don't even know if you've thought about this recently, bro, but like, now I feel like you have ascended to a point where you have to be considered like, at least, like maybe like at the cusp of elite. And, you know, do you feel like Street Fighter League is a bit of a coming out party for you? And do you think that you have transitioned to a different skill level like I'm saying?
Yeah, I think overall during quarantine I leveled up a lot, and most of it was because I was living with Punk for the first year of it. I think Street Fighter League also did help because I used to have like nerves during tournaments and I would not play as my best, but I think somewhere in the middle of Street Fighter League like it clicked for me to like figure out how to not really get nervous and like feel like I would have like adrenaline in my body and I could use that to improve my reactions and not like get nervous. Actually,
so it's like a boost instead of like a negative thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So like ever since then, I haven't really gotten nervous at a tournament. I don't think so. Anytime I'm playing in like a CPT online, I just feel like I'm playing my best always. And yeah, I kind of feel like I've been like at that elite level since about Street Fighter League last year. I don't really care about how other people see.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you just focus on your own thing. Yeah, of course. Okay, and just the last question I'll ask you guys, just for your first match, you guys are going up against Team NASR. I think you are two of the favorites in this league for sure. How do you think you guys match up against that team? And from like the even a character standpoint and player standpoint, what are you thinking about Team NASR?
I think it's pretty tough. I think on paper they have a lot more just tournament characters ready.
Yeah.
So it comes down to like who do we want to ban for like that one person, because we want to select a character that can just be playable. You know, just like talking and kind of like reading on what character that we think they're gonna ban and trying to counter pick with our character ban.
Guys, I'll tell you what, Justin, Punk, two legends. And Punk, I don't even know if you've ever considered yourself that yet. I'm not gonna ask you about it, but just, you know, you actually are a legend at this point, in my opinion. Like, no BS, even though you're that young. And Nephew, potentially a legend in the making, unless we were talking about chess, because there, I will wash you.
No, you
This
won't.
has been none other than Team Panda Global.
You know, we've all seen the shift that a lot of fighting game players have made to making content, especially the Panda boys. Shout outs to Panda and shout outs to Team Panda here for Street Fighter League Season 4.
But now they're going up against the current champions of Street Fighter League Season 3, right? NASR is going to be a whole different ballgame, right? You're still going to have the two birds, but now you have a real big problem on your hands. And I do mean Problem X, one of the best players to grace us, coming across the pond from the UK to come here for that international play, right? Problem X being the third component. He was originally supposed to be part of Season 3 as well. Problem is, he's here now.
That's true. I mean, once again, the pandemic successfully affected our list here. Our teams were hurt by the fact that we weren't able to get everybody out. However, that has changed up for 2021. Problem X is in the building. In fact, when I see Problem X, I have to get on my leash. My lord, problem. You gotta do it.
He's knighted already?
He's knighted, bro.
He's knighted in the world of Street Fighter 5 because if you don't solve for problem X, then X gonna give it to you. That's the thing, right? He's gonna give it to you. But I'll tell you what, Hollywood Rob TV is gonna give us the interview with Team NASR. Before we get on to it, let's take a look at what Team NASR had to say.
Okay. Everyone knows what time it is. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the returning Season 3 champions, Team NASR. How's it going, fellas?
Doing good. How are you?
Yeah, seems like y'all energy. I'm feeling a whole lot of champion energy from this side of my, you know what I'm saying? Like, how did it feel for you guys to, just walk off that stage, officially being the champs? And do you think that it gives you guys an advantage this season as far as your confidence going in?
Yeah, I mean, it was a big sigh of relief for us because it wasn't like the first match, the opening match for us wasn't really something small. It was like a final.
Yeah.
So we won that. It was a big sigh of relief for us, and now we can continue on with this momentum that we have. So we're feeling really good about it. Obviously now we have a problem as well. So overall, we're really excited for the season and the confidence that we have, I can say for all of us.
Yeah,
it's very high.
I mean, what, you guys just won 20 bands apiece, and then you got on the new jersey, the TikTok, Under Armour. My man's getting a whole lot of money in order. He had the Floyd Mayweather watch on. I see you right now, Big Bird. Stuff is going good. Angry Bird, I do have a question for you, of course, as well. One of the most exciting players on all the Street Fighter League as far as your gameplay and, just the entertainment, the yelling and hype behind, even when it comes to cheering on your teammates. Last year, you guys had just such an amazing synergy, like your culture and everything, right? And now you even have Problem X added to the mix here. How are you guys feeling so far about your chemistry, and how does it feel to have someone like Problem X on your team?
Actually, we're close friends with Problem, even without before this tournament. So the chemistry is already there. So we don't need to create chemistry between us. So it's already there. So this is something good. We don't need to work on that.
Yeah.
It's gonna be there eventually. And Problem is the Evo champ.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
so
the one and only.
it's amazing to have him on our side.
I'm jealous of that.
Yeah. You did. Yeah, you almost got your Eagle championship.
Yeah, almost.
Almost. Yeah. You decided the Eagle kick.
Bro, don't remind me.
So of course, Problem. How does it feel to finally be on Street Fighter League? And you were supposed to be here last year.
Yeah, I mean, it's great to finally arrive. Yeah, as you said, I was supposed to be here last year, so I've got backed up vengeance.
Yeah,
vengeance. I was supposed to deliver last season.
Yeah,
and now I'm alongside the Season 3 champions.
Yeah.
I'd say I don't feel any pressure.
Yeah.
But obviously, if they just won, and then I've come onto the team.
Yeah,
to win again, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. But as the Bird said, we've been good friends prior to this, and so the chemistry's high.
Yeah.
And I'm very competitive, so I compete within my own team. So I know that even
so
if
you don't just want them to, you want to win and be a reason too.
I don't want to get backpacked. I want to be winning, and I can be like, yo, what happened in your game?
Bro, no.
Yeah. Okay, so as far as you guys' first match of this entire season, you're starting off with a team that you were in grand finals against in Season 3, that you guys bested. But it's a whole new season in the end of the day, you know what I mean? What are you guys thinking going into your first match up against Team Panda Global? And, how do you think that you guys match up this season?
I mean, this team, this time, obviously, we're obviously a lot stronger now.
Yeah.
We now have Problem X as well. And Panda, Justin Wong is a weird one for us because I haven't really seen him play.
Yeah.
So I don't really know what kind of gameplay he's on.
Yeah.
But since he's Justin, you're not gonna okay, I'm gonna go just smoke him real quick and that's it.
Yeah.
Even if he's still not playing, he's still Justin. He still has one of the best fundamentals period in the game.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm kind of worried about that. And then there's NEPHEW, obviously NEPHEW is NEPHEW, and then there's PUNK on top of that. But I feel like we're kind of good in that regard because we're all ready to play, and I feel like we have a good chance as well.
Overall, behind the scenes, this is what the talk is, man. With all of us behind the scenes, every player here, we all think that the best team on paper is you guys, Team NASR, right? We think you can just have an all-star team. What is it like for you having that pressure on you? Do you agree that you guys are the best team here?
I mean, we expect amazing things from us.
Talk that talk, Angry Bird.
So yeah, I mean, it's no pressure. Like we're used to this. We have played in big stages, so we already used to this. So the plan is we don't want to lose any match. That's the plan.
Yeah.
That we're trying to win all the matches.
Angry Bird, I'm loving that energy. I'm loving the energy from you guys' team as a whole, man. Just like I said, a whole lot of championship vibes. I know you're gonna do amazing things this season. And before we sign out, I do want to make sure I give a huge shout out to Problem X's sponsor, Mouth Sports, for actually having my guy out here on loan like a famous soccer or football player or something like that. That's a beautiful thing, so shout out to them. And ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be an amazing ride with Team NASR.
And that's exactly the kind of synergy and chemistry I was expecting from those three individuals, right? These guys are longtime friends and these guys are longtime training partners as well. There's no doubt in my mind that they had this kind of confidence going into it, because if you look at it even outside of that interview, look at it on paper.
Yeah.
These guys are looking buff.
And I feel like we have a very condensed team here of what makes the EU great at Street Fighter. And just some of the best players in the world, in all honesty. It's going to be Tings, man. It's going to be Tings out here. Out here in Street Fighter League. But here we are. It's going to be Panda versus NASR. The bans are as follows. NASR banned Karen. And as you know, Panda banned Bison. However, on the opposite side, you really open up the team, because now you have a full-powered Big Bird and Angry Bird. So you stop one problem, you solve one problem, and then that's when the birds come and crap on your car. But here we go.
Not the birds, but no, I mean, you take a look at NASR as well, right? We're starting off with NEPHEW going up against, who was it? Angry Bird, right? This is a run back from their season finale. By the way, NEPHEW got the short end of the stick. Angry Bird pretty much took it down convincingly with that Zeku, and he's going for that again. That's the strategy. Again, we mentioned it, or at least I mentioned it. Like, who else was rocking Zeku? I didn't get to mention Angry Bird just because of the sole fact that he was rocking Seth majority of his games. But this time around, it's different. Let's see how it turns out. Here we go. It's the run back.
It's legit the run back. Same characters, same format that will say the style. You just got a new team member. Things might be a little different.
Two different components from each side, right? But Angry Bird right now, there's a lot of respect being shown. Nice. A little bit of, man, you're gonna let that rip anyway?
Yo, NEPHEW. This is Dark Neph. Look at the focus on NEPHEW's face right now.
You went from Alan Sun to Alan Moon. This guy was turning full dark. I can't believe it. Again.
Bars, okay.
That's the kind of attitude I like to see from Neph. Oh, and press it again!
Okay.
Press it so that button doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, it didn't work because he dropped that combo. That wasn't, gets the sweep.
Okay, maybe not then. My mistake.
Trigger on the table for Zeku. There it is. Block. Oh, wow. That life lead in favor of Zeku. A little trigger still left. Tries to go for the dash in with the rest of that V trigger.
Go for it, yeah.
Yep. Just spinning it.
You could hear it. You could hear it from Big Bird. He's like, you know what? Just go for it. There's nothing you really need to risk here. There is no trigger left on the side of Colleen, but you don't want to make that mistake of letting her go.
He actually said in his native tongue, scared money don't make no money. That's what he said.
I heard it too.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Followed by a nice.
Oh, man, that stand heavy kick is work. These exchanges have been largely the same. It's been crush after crush, heavy button after heavy button, small adjustments, but it didn't stop the round from going to Zeku and Angry Bird. Oh, Vanity step back, gets out of danger, no follow-up.
What a confirm off of those lights as well. Just changing the momentum. And a big whiff punish from the side of Big Neph. Dashing up twice over, checking with the frame traps. There's the activation route into trigger 2. It's going to be really scary.
Oh, the backdash. What a whiff punish. Stuns on the table, but you're not. Okay.
It's okay. Don't worry about it.
You see the delay, too. You see the counter hit coming in from the side of Angry Bird. Tried to press it button, but Colleen, and in the hands of NEPHEW, he understands the timing. He understands player tendencies.
Yeah, that staggered pressure is really something that's got NEPHEW a lot of mileage. And now you see Angry Bird switching it up a little bit. Gets the lead in his third round, first game. Stand light kick to keep the ground in check. He's young Zeku, so he's not going to have the opportunity to anti-air. Wow.
There's available. A little bit of a sharp angle, so I don't blame NEPHEW for that one. I had to let it rock.
Bro, they are playing some close quarters combat right now. Target into Hailstorm.
Forced to block that. Great tech from the side of Angry Bird. Does have full trigger on deck. What a side switch and back around 2, trying to break some ankles. There it is. Yes, sir. The target combo to build up just enough trigger.
Wow. Nephew's tick throws. Actually baiting out and waiting this time.
So he tries to focus on the slide activation a lot.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, so just take your time with it. You can walk into the corner if you want.
Yeah.
Don't forget, stand fierce and stand roundhouse from Colin has a low hurt box.
Yeah. Slide with punish. Oh, crouch medium punch.
Round 1.
It was the patience that was being shown in the first round, right? It was kind of slow to start when it came to getting themselves acquainted into the match. There was a lot of kind of lights and probing a little bit. They're like, all right, well, who's going to make the first move? Who's going to overcommit first? But it ended up being ANGRYBIRD taking the first round. The problem is, you know, NEPHEW, well adapted, well adjusted, going in again with the stand heavy punch. Here comes the dash up twice over, applying those meaties, frame traps into. He didn't have enough, but he didn't capitalize.
Oh my gosh.
ANGRYBIRD had his opportunity because he was looking at that trigger activation. Problem is he did not have it on deck. NEPHEW, that is, I should say.
Ooh, the Mega Man jump. Ooh, backdash. You gotta be careful when that trigger's active for Colleen.
And just enough, too, utilizing the very end of it. Yeah, getting the icicle spear. Another reversal from the side of ANGRYBIRD. That's the second time he opted to do something on Wake Up, and NEPHEW has stopped it.
NEPHEW is NEPHEW is loose right now, bro. Oh, look. NEPHEW,
this isn't a content creator, I know.
This is not a content creator.
This is a player. This is a competitor. He might as well be a champion. He's already a champion in some degree, right?
Yeah. Look at the way, just completely different play that we've seen from when we saw them play earlier. The run back is successfully changed what NEPHEW is going for in this matchup. The young Zeku, not too much working out for ANGRYBIRD.
I don't know, you might be right, Steve. It's looking like it's tough for ANGRYBIRD. Like, what are the kind of adjustments he needs to make? I feel like there's just been, it's hard to call because NEPHEW has really pinpointed where he wants to go in terms of movement, how to whiff, punish, and apply pressure.
The thing about it is that like they're getting a lot of exchanges, especially in this situation, but no big confirms.
Nice.
Like these combos, these are actual combos.
You got this,
But they're like 3-4 hit combos, not a lot of damage on display, right? And NEPHEW plays such a compact game. The last time that they played, got intel from the rest of his team and was like, yo, he's just waiting for you to do something. You still see it this time, but it's a lot more effective. The close quarters game is different. We saw a bunch of crush counters in that first game, lots of trades, lots of challenging on Wake Up because of that instance.
And I'm glad you mentioned that point. You see ANGRYBIRD kind of closing the gap a little bit more so that the hits actually connect. Even if it's a block, it's still technically connecting, right? You're not whiffing in front of NEPHEW. You're not misplacing the timing of your normals, but that's when NEPHEW starts to turn up on his offense, right? He's no longer playing the waiting game. He changes it up. That is important.
Oh, finally the counter.
Not as important as that, though.
Finally the counter, and not ready for the cross-up. NEPHEW successfully gets the run back, leaves with a smile. Daps him, lets him know, yeah, I'm still here.
Did you see the confidence from the headset removal? He's like, that was free.
I really hope we cut to NEPHEW in between those games. My man looked like he was about to play a pickup game of basketball out there. He was jumping around, moving, had a little smirk on his face. Yo, the highlighted tips was in full effect. I mean, he absorbed the character, and now look at him go. First game on the board goes to Panda. Man, NEPHEW just looking so strong right out of the gate here. Season 4 is looking great for what NEPHEW's going to bring to the table. And Panda's off to a good start. And then to make it even sweeter, they throw in the alpha to stabilize the structure. That's what you do.
You realize who he's playing up against, right?
Oh my
Punk
God!
is playing off one of the EVO champions, Problem X. This is a dream matchup for Street Fighter V fans. And guess where it's at? Right here.
Find me better Street Fighter, I dare you. Find me better Street Fighter, I dare you. It's right here. You're looking at it. You can't. You don't even have to go anywhere. I bought it to you. This is Uber Street Fighter League, and it is ridiculous. You don't even have to leave your house.
You don't have to order from your phone.
You can watch it on your phone. I'm just saying.
Ooh-wee.
Round 1.
Wow, we had the collaboration on loan from Mouse Sports. The collaboration actually happened, so I feel like this is actually cheap, man. We got to talk to NASR about their team building ways. They out here, you know, going outside the means. I'm just kidding, guys.
Mouse Esports is doing work, right? Again, they have a guy like Problem X who's been making waves in the UK for years now in Street Fighter. Not even just Street Fighter 5, just Street Fighter in general, right? And is doing so again, looking to probably give Punk the hardest time here when it comes to the international competition. These two, again, are very much so friendly with each other, but now in the streets, it's going to be a whole different fight.
Well, on the streets, that was what we call the whip punish with the Colleen. I see you, Punk.
Back-to-back holdings, by the way.
Okay.
Twice over. Yeah, getting a full combo with some of the heavier set characters. But now it's going to be serious time with Trigger 1. Being able to not have to charge and throw out these headbutts is going to be pretty good. Oh, but
It ain't
so
gonna be
is
that good.
My man
That
reacted
counter.
with a parry.
And-
Listen, that was damn hype. I don't know about y'all, but this guy has ridiculous reactions. He didn't even blink. I don't know what kind of glasses
I wish
those are.
I could see Punk's face right now.
Those are
bro.
X-ray glasses. I don't know what that is.
I wish you guys could see Punk's face right now.
That
My man
was
is in the
insane.
zone right now.
I wish he could have popped off on this. Like, yeah, I'm the greatest.
Bro, if he wins, I feel like he might pop off. That
He won't, though.
that
That's the
standing
thing.
heavy kick.
He's like, job's not finished. He's got a mama mentality to him this season.
Oh, block. Good punish here.
Get Oki after that. Dashes 2 times over, now applying that pressure. And I like the backdash choice there from Punk. He doesn't want to give him free meter or free damage with the follow-up hands. So that's going to be great now, but, you know, walking out of the corner is going to be what's important. Yes, sir.
You can tell right now that Problem X is second-guessing a lot of his entry because he saw that big parry to get the round. So now, those headbutts aren't going to be such a go-to move, but you can't let people dissuade you, though, right?
But it's so difficult because he had it in trigger. You're not even looking for a down back charge anymore. You could have just let it rip, but still. Oh, what a boost! Man, that V-Trigger 2, or V-Skill 2, being able to charge it up freely is kind of tantalizing.
Gets the crush with
Look at the
standing
damage
heavy.
incoming, Steve.
Yeah.
Look at the damage. There's another one. Oh, my
Yeah,
God.
that's a big chunk of damage. The
And a
standing heavy
stun?
punch, no stun.
Oh my.
Was looking for
The whip
something from
punish
Punk. He
could've
didn't
been
give it to
there.
him. Activation after the block sweep. Gets the counter hit confirmed. Punk back in the game. Parabellum to get the Oki. Double dash forward throw. Looking a little bit like Darknet. All the
And
ticks.
the lights afterwards.
I'm out.
EX butt slam trigger
Butt
is available.
first.
That would have been just fine no matter what. That sequence would have led to so much pressure and a guessing situation because of that rowdy chuck. If you two low medium kick into trigger, it's going to be so much harder for you to guess what's coming up after.
And on top of that, stun was on the table. E Honda was right there at the brink of stun. If that combo would have worked out, that series would have worked out, we probably could have saw something different. 1 round apiece. Big pickup here from Punk. Parabellum knockdown. Goes for the Hailstorm follow-up. Actually stops the EX butt slam. Parabellum just getting a little chip though. I feel like Punk is okay with that because it's going to be a lot harder for E Honda to check that after the Parabellum if you space it properly.
And I like that kind of call out there from Problem X, right? He's going to say, okay, if you're not going to come to me, I'm going to get this V-Skill 2 charge in and see how you react to that. So it's going to be a little bit more dangerous. Over Punk, completely unfazed. Does not give a damn about it.
Ooh, let me out, but first. V-Shift to get back. I love seeing V-Shift so actively in Street Fighter League Season 4.
So smart. That's the second time he's moved out of there from hands pressure using that backdash. That should be intel.
Oh, that was so
for Problem
smart.
X.
Did a normal this time. The EX Hailstorm actually would have got a combo if Punk was paying attention.
You had it already.
Tried to do V-Skill.
He had it already, though.
Yo, the way Punk is playing, the intimidation might be a bit too high. Game 1
You're playing good.
goes to
just,
Punk.
I don't know. Like,
the V-skill was an accident.
Yeah, yeah. Catch meter punch though, you're not using it a lot.
Yeah, because Stanford speeds it.
Okay. Even crouch jab as a poke is good.
You should just let him do V skill 2, because every time he does V skill 2,
I tried to
he comes in.
I'm out.
No, just let him do it, because then he's confident that he's gonna try to get the hit, and then you whiff punish him every single time.
Justin Wong, the coach.
He came in
with the clipboard on the sidelines, covering his mouth so you can't read the mic through the camera.
He's been here before.
He's been here before. Coach Wong.
Damn, Justin's back.
Justin's back. Kids ran down the street throwing out newspaper. Justin's back. What do you mean? Justin Wizzy Wong. It's him. He's returned.
It's Wizzy.
It's Wizzy.
Tell me, Poseidon, come on. All right, so back to the action at hand. Again, Problem X already having a little bit of difficulty trying to predict what Punk wants to do, right? And some of the teammates are like, you know, you haven't thrown out that crouching medium punch. He's like, yeah, well, this guy is throwing out fierce like a madman, so I don't want to get whiff punished.
Man, this dude's Punk neutral. He's playing like crazy right now.
He is the nooch. That's the thing.
He's transformed into the nooch. He just turns into a space. You're like, what's he doing? He's evolving. There's nothing there but space. Exactly. He's become the nooch.
By the time you realize that it's too late. That's the thing with most of these players. Once you realize the nooch is here, it's too late for you.
Oh, the shimmy. He said you could take that one back with you, bro. That's a gift.
Oh, and the stun would actually kill.
Not again.
This is actually, he has enough meter. Yeah, you're actually dead. All off of that. That sequence is so deadly. I'm telling you, man, Punk is in full control.
And Honda's a big boy. So you know my man was trying to maximize the damage right there. Set point here for Punk.
Give him the good old slow down there, Buckaroo, no matter how big you are.
Right.
I mean, the bigger you are, the harder you fall. That's what it is. But Punk, again, with composure. Can we talk about that for a second? He knew full well what his win condition was going to be like, and he chose the correct path. The fact that he also forced Problem X to make those errors back-to-back was even more impressive.
The way he's keeping Problem X on his toes is really a problem right now for Problem X. Like, Problem X is having such an issue making sure Punk doesn't disrespect his ground game.
A lot of the problems that Honda is having right now revolves around the longer normals that Colleen has, right? That fierce is such a problem.
Oh, there we go.
Like that.
That's what, actually, the rest of the team actually told him he was not using that move enough. Tried to add it to the game, didn't work out, but it did work out that one time. Life lead still slightly
you can't do that in front of him. He got tested 2 times over. This time, Punk 1,000% ready. It helped that he was right in his face. He didn't even have to move up. Are you actually? No, I think you might be alive. No, so much damage.
You actually needed it to kill. Yeah.
I didn't think that was going to kill.
Was that 2-0?
That was
over
2-0.
the Problem X Team Panda. And once again, this is still a spiritual run back for Punk. Because he
it is a spiritual run back.
Because his team, him and
a financial one.
Yeah, and a financial one. Their team just lost to NASR in the finals for Season 3. They came back with 2 new team members, and I'm like, what about now? What about now? And a lot of people may argue going into this situation that NASR's team now is considerably stronger than when it was last season. So if Punk comes back with his team, Justin Wong and NEPHEW, to get this W, what does that tell you for the season? Just putting that out there, just putting a couple of sugar cubes in your coffee. You know, I just want you guys to see it how I see it, you know?
I mean, you're not wrong. You're absolutely not wrong. It only gets better. And in fact, we have more matches to come to you with Justin Wong, now in the hot seat for Team Panda, going up against Big Bird.
Now, one of the things I would also like to point out is that during the interview, Big Bird pointed out, he said, you can't sleep on Justin Wong. He's like, we don't know who he plays. Yo, the cards of fortune.
This is going to be sick. Debut of Rose here in Street Fighter League and the return of Justin Wong. This is the character that that NASR has been kind of fearful of, right? I know for sure. Big Bird was like, not a lot of people know what Rose does. Well, you know, Justin Wong happens.
You know, it was one of the conversations that happened during the season finale. Is that like what happens if I pick Rose? And Big Bird literally said I would pick Ken and just DP. So the fact that he picked Rashid, like you said, it really does tell the tale of the tape by the fact that they might not know much about this matchup. Rose is a newer character, completely retooled for Street Fighter V from the ground up with dope outfits and everything. Uh-oh, gets that corner though. Big Bird finds an opening here on Justin Wong, and it is, oh wow, not gonna work.
The thing is, there's so much recovery on that, so there was enough time for Big Bird to even punish whether it be a jump in or not. Well, activation there from Justin Wong. Oh, the anti-air is not there, unfortunately, but it could have been EX Eagle Spike, right?
Wow, the teleport out and the punish as well. The teleport.
Nice.
Stand medium kick.
Nice. Let's go.
Angry Bird
just puts the microphone in his mouth and goes, nice!
Right, he literally tapes it to his throat and just starts screaming nice.
YOLO!
YOLO! Yeah, that spiral arrow, one of the tools that Rose has at her disposal that I feel like is really good in neutral control, especially against a character like Rashid. Forward throw.
I kind of want to see what happens when it comes to the anti-air space, at least with Soul Blind, right? Now it's been improved this last patch. I think Rose had a really good shot to contending anything that comes in the air, but as it stands right now, Rashid is just so hard to track down.
Oh, the defense. Oh, the defense gets out of the corner. Activation on the V trigger. Forward throw. This tick game is going to be a problem. He tried to hit him with the grease in the corner. Uh-oh, wait a minute.
I'll jump cross it.
That could have been the round for Justin Wong, a little bit on edge. Now Big Bird is trying to close out. Now give him a second chance. It should be more than enough. You already know with Trigger 2 that enhanced Eagle Spike also being able to track down after that forward medium punch. Big Bird looking great.
I think he's playing really good. He's just throwing Rashid shit.
Let's go, let's go.
Rose has some ridiculous combos, by the way, especially with the way, with the way her combos work. Very unique take on the character as well. It's funny that you mentioned Alpha 2 and those custom combos, man. That's a really.
I can't wait for the illusion. I can't wait. I really want to see that. Oh, those triggers. But it's not going to be the case, right? That's triple 2.
Nice.
Soul Bind. A little bit of input error there coming from Justin Wong, but now it's going to be Big Bird getting that activation. And still, Justin in a very familiar position, but the problem is he is the king of turbo.
Yo, the jump back sets up the mine, and just EX Eagle Spike to get through. Big damage right there.
Yeah. I think Soul Punish is going to be a pretty huge factor if you get the knockdown first. Yeah, using the trigger and the follow-up from the Soul Orb to get herself out of the corner. Oh, that is huge. Nasty.
Extend the scarf. It's cold out. Take this scarf.
Wrong game.
Okay.
Nice.
Ooh,
What a
wow.
punish. That scarf definitely has a giant hurt box to it.
Standing heavy punch, just walk up and gets to throw. Stun is on the table. Crouching light kick, activation.
Nice.
Spinning mixer just to stop any hope of offense getting started back up. That first round.
Did you see that? What's scaling involved? What do you mean? There was no scaling.
Bro.
It never existed.
All right.
That V-skill would have been pivotal. At the right range, would have killed Justin Wong, but the mix is there as well. Justin getting the knockdown, but no Soul Punish. Instead, he goes in for Hot Pursuit. He does not get an Oki situation off of that, but oh, he tried to throw in the card.
I tries to use a V-skill there. Didn't work out.
Not the cards today, but it's going to be tied up still. Big Bird is at match point, already swinging big whiff punish from Justin Wong. There's a Soul Punish to keep that presence on the field, trying to play the longer range game with the orbs, and damn, that was a whiff punish.
Dude, Rashid's normals, that standing heavy punch has so much range. Regardless if you're a new character or an old character, you new here, but this move is still good, bro. Neutral jump, defense, very solid for Justin here. Even just the throw tech awareness, good interruption there. Soul Spark blocked, activation on the retaliation.
That's going to be highly punishable, but no, Big Bird wasn't ready for it. The EX Soul Spiral goes unpunished, but it's still fine. Still finding an opening, and the trigger is still a problem. Let's see what happens. The chase down was nasty.
And that was clutch, though. That was a well-needed win, considering the team was down 2 games. You still need to get through Punk and NEPHEW. Solid play by Big Bird right there. And I feel like you can tell just by the way the pace of that match, even a couple of missed punishes there from Big Bird against Rose lets you know not too familiar with that matchup. And Justin really getting warmed up, it seems like, in a lot of these situations.
Yeah, that's what it felt like, right? I wanted to see a little bit more consistent conversions coming in from Justin Wong. We did see the potential of his mix-up game when it came to throwing out the Soul Orb into V-Trigger 1 activation to create those really ambiguous left-right mix-ups. That's his game. That's Justin Wong, mix-up master. Yeah. I wanted to see some of the medium kicks come out a little bit, or even the roundhouses, because we've seen how much space Rose's roundhouse really takes up.
But it's once again, it's really still a task to make a character like Rashid respect your neutral, regardless of what character you're playing. But Big Bird still, that's only a piece of the cake right now. That's only a small caveat of what lies ahead. Now you have to take out NEPHEW, and then you still have Punk as the last remaining player. So now we go to Big Bird against NEPHEW.
Round 1. Fight.
Stand medium kick, going right back to that neutral game control.
This is a version of NEPHEW that we are used to seeing in the atmosphere of the Capcom Pro Tour, right? We saw a little bit of it in the season finale of Season 3, but this is like a whole different side of NEPHEW. Again, he's evolving every single time you see him on screen. Look at how much more dominance he has. Up until that point, the side switch is going to be pretty pivotal. You saw a reversal on the side of that, but Big Bird was ready for it. Another throw, the pressure and the damage is adding up. You ain't going nowhere.
The vanity step, actually.
He definitely could have converted off of that, too.
Round lead in favor of Big Bird right now. Okay, V-Trigger 1. Defense so solid for NEPHEW. Completely avoids the V-Trigger 1 for Rashid. Obviously a space control tactic, not gonna work. Keeps the corner. There's the interrupt.
Defense.
Not dead, but this situation not good. Both of these guys not in too fair situations. Likely pretty even. 33 seconds left on the clock. Constantly going back to that space. Big Bird disrespecting Colleen.
Oh, and there's no whip punishes from the side of NEPHEW though, but it's so scary. That medium kick is just enough damage to take the deal, but We'll see what happens. NEPHEW does have a low medium kick of his own. Any touch can do it. Overhead, no, that's not the touch he needed.
Oh, nice.
And he spent the bar for it. He thought Big Bird was going to back up and give him that space. That was so good for Big Bird to not back down despite being that close to death as well.
Once again, look at what we saw from that Justin Wong game, bro. Like, that alone just should let you know just how willing Rashid is to walk in that space, control the neutral. Big Bird understands that. Okay, jump out. Parabellum. Gets the heavy punch for the knockdown.
Bro, now, the stun is racking up, but I think it's going to be dead before the stun even hits, to be quite honest with you. The Big Bird, yes, sir, does get the whip punish. And that was against a medium punch coming from the side of Colleen. Forward throw now. Here comes the mix. No.
Oh, so smart
like that.
with the delay get up right there.
Delay get up to avoid the mix from the V trigger one. Oh, no, but you can't avoid that. You might be stunned. Oh, no, mistimed the throw. This is a tough spot to be
the jump back and the confirm. Yo, NEPHEW, stop.
Doesn't matter.
Yo, stop.
Nerfed. Nerfed.
Man, the way NEPHEW just looked at the screen.
Now you understand, man. Like Rashid players jumping off the wall like that, you get into juggle state.
Going back to the neutral, just runs in. We've talked about the fact that Big Bird is willing to just go into that neutral space. NEPHEW calling it out with the heavy punch. Answers back with the Wake Up EX spinning mixer. Shades Voil King. Oh, crush once again. It's been a lot of glass. Watch your toes. It's a lot of broken glass in this area. Hopefully you got on shoes.
Got some sandals on. Probably got the Birkins too. All right, here we go. Trigger activation there. Coming in from Colleen. This is going to be kind of tough now. Firing right back. Tries to create some space with it, but when is he going to go in and how? There it is.
Nice.
Man, that is so smart and so sneaky. V-skill, roll forward. Tactical maneuvers here from Big Bird.
Oh, the whiff punish on the eagle spike. Yo, NEPHEW.
Just that as a choice, though, like maybe trying to hit at the tip of the knees, maybe? I don't even know.
Nice.
Bro, the speed that NEPHEW has been playing is a lot slower than his normal pace.
Nice!
Able to make something happen. Bro, ANGRYBIRD is popping off.
He's actually...
He's just trying to random out. You just gotta just contain his dashes.
Yo, Big Bird doing a great job of controlling his neutral. And what's crazy is NEPHEW's playing ridiculous.
I'm trying to listen into what Punk was saying earlier. Like, he was saying, you know, he's not really showing off the card of, like, dashing up to you, so I think you have to be a little bit more proactive with your normals. At least that's what I thought I heard.
No, he said you have to check the dashes harder. He said, that's what he said. He's like, you have to check those dashes harder, because he keeps doing it.
I felt like I didn't even see it that often, though. That's the thing. Like, there was mostly, like, crush counter normal, and then, of course, the crouching heavy punch as well. Now he's active in these grip punches. I'd have to recheck this one, to be honest with you. The only significant, like, dashes I saw came from, like, trigger activation.
Okay. Speaking of trigger activation, Big Bird gets the side switch with the trigger one. Life lead just slightly in favor of Big Bird, even larger now after that corner throw. Same side, gets the counter hit 2 times over. Big damage on the table, not going to be the kill, but goes for the mix-up. No quick tech this time. You've seen it before, but it's layers on top of layers.
Watch out for the DP.
This is a 3-story building, bro, and I only showed you the first.
He only saw the tip of the iceberg. Problem is, 85% of it is down below. You gotta dig through that surface to get it.
All right, sweep cancel to the Parabellum. Great air-to-air, resets the situation. Doesn't take the bait on that spinning mixer there. NEPHEW still controlling other corner. Eats a crouching heavy punch. Oh, 2 times. Oh, the crush.
Pierces, I'm liking that. Firing with no remorse. That's exactly what you should do as Colleen. Let the heavy punch button break on your joystick because of how many times you press it in neutral. Here we go. Trigger activation from Big Bird.
The conversion as well after the trade. A chunk of damage there, but gets rid of the V trigger. Big Bird on the come up, and stun is becoming a factor. Plenty of meter. Same side, tries to neutral jump reset. Defense on the side of NEPHEW. Raw activation on the V trigger too, and plenty of meter to make something happen. Almost got the whip punish, but the conversion backs it up. Air throw to get the knockdown. These exchanges are going to be important.
He's trying to find a way out and trying to bait something into, you know, maybe Colleen moving forward a little bit too much, right? Those jumps out the corner is going to be more than enough. Now Big Bird still getting suppressed by the normals. He still has enough for this trigger activation, right? Walking up into his face. What a check one time. Safe, but here comes Big Bird.
Oh my God, he tried to walk
He's so brave.
Oh, NEPHEW, you need to be a firefighter. You're here playing Street Fighter, you need to be driving ambulances. That's what you need to do. I'm just saying, man.
Maybe you can, like, hit him coming up with, like, jump medium kick or something.
Where? Like when you live in corner?
Yeah, like jump medium kick, jump medium punch, like one of those. Maybe you can hit him out the air, or you just keep your string tight. If you keep it tight, you'll counter or you'll hit him every time. Yeah.
Yeah, Punk is definitely in Nephew's ear right now, just letting him know, like, hey, pay attention to these things.
Yeah, when you see how he performed in like previous versions of Street Fighter League, like, he's taking it pretty nonchalant, a lot more confidence. But I think, you know, seeing this out the gate is huge. It's either that or it's because it's against Team NASR, the folks that took him out in Season 3, right? There's got to be a grudge match between these two teams.
Yep. What a whiff punish on the crouching heavy punch from Rashid. Still momentum in favor of Big Bird. What a defensive play block on the overhead. It just wiped. Just
another backdash, but still gets thrown. Here comes Big Bird again. Stun is imminent. What an interruption. Crouch jab finds his way out. Yes, sir. Oh, no. Too far for the conversion off of the stand. Heavy punch.
Crouching medium kick. Nephew in hot pursuit. Gets knocked down by the V-trigger. Any hit's going to do it. Tries to pursue, and it didn't work out. Big Bird is on set point. Punk waiting.
Nephew was trying to speed down the highway, but woo, Big Bird came in and he's like, pull over. Pull over to the side of the road. The man said, it's a cardigan, thanks for noticing. Instead, just flies right by him. Here comes the icicle. Boom, sit him down again. Now stuck in this corner. He ain't stopping for nobody. Oh, here he comes. Big Bird, side switch, and the damage.
Yeah, that stand medium kick into the V-trigger. Good chase on the Mega Man jump and full punish stun right there. Pressure getting turned up, finds the opening. One more hit, block. Gonna have the confirm. Didn't go in the trigger just yet, but spins a little meter, gets out of the corner, stays on the same side, ready for the switch, went for the chase, it didn't work out. Wow. This is getting really close to being closed out by Big Bird. Punk on the back burner.
Jump back.
The side switch, you can hear the advice from Big Bird.
V-shift to get out of there, tries to get him to swing, another backdash. The walked up and did the crouching medium kick confirmed. He's not dead yet though. Oh, that could have been it.
The overhead finally where were you gonna see that? When and where? When and where was the issue?
That's only one round of the last round. Jesus. All right, we're back.
Actually,
my heart is racing right now.
Nice.
Confirm. Uses the V-skill to get the knockdown in the corner this round. Still not looking too good.
Crouching heavy punch just firing away in this corner 3 times over, trying to escape, but still clips him on the way down. Big Bird still in hot pursuit, using that spinning mixer, or using tornado shot to keep Nephew locked down. But once trigger is activated, it's a whole different story for Colleen.
We've seen a lot of defensive situations work out for Nephew, and it's because been switching it up a bit. That stagger pressure, the layers, they're going deeper and deeper.
Oh! Big exchange.
Another
back throw now from Nephew, trying to maintain this control, at least the positioning. Another back throw instead. He's just tossing him around like a rag doll. But here comes the activation sooner than later from Big Bird. It might be after this throw.
There it is.
Oh!
Oh my God!
What's happening?
Crouching medium kill. Oh my God, this
It's so close. There's Big Boy on deck too.
He can chip out. He can actually chip out. If he gets close enough, the jump, no anti-air, he breaks the throw.
There's not enough damage yet,
my
Steve.
God.
He has to find the right sequence. He has to get a little bit of block or great
my God, he
before he goes into it. He has to hit a fierce parabellum probably.
Oh my God.
But he needs one more sequence to at least get the chip damage going or hit him once. It's so scary.
Oh, the jump in. What a, oh my God. Oh my God. Big Bird is playing out of his mind. He is definitely trying to crap on Panda's cars right now. He's definitely trying to crap on Panda's cars right now. That's what birds do. They ruin your day. You just got your car washed.
Man.
They're waiting outside your house to crap on your car. That's what Big Bird just did.
Steve, what was that? Come on now. He couldn't hold it.
Oh man.
Did you see Punk and his demeanor as he sat down into the hot seat? He is all game right now, tuned in, because you gotta remember, Big Bird is the one that eliminated him in the season finals.
The plot thickens. Where are you gonna find me better Street Fighter? You can't. This is the apex. This is where it comes from.
Let's go, man. Let's go.
This is the core right here I'm looking at, man.
This is the kind of matches we were looking forward to.
Why do we miss offline? Because of this right here. Because of these kinds of matches. The final match, team battle number 2, week number 1 of Street Fighter League, comes down to this. The person who eliminated him from the finals is going to be Big Bird versus Punk, Panda versus NASR.
You understand this is a major caliber when it comes to looking at Street Fighter, spectating Street Fighter 5 matches to this degree, right? You only get these experiences at major events. Guess what? We have it every single week. And in fact, right now, Big Bird is looking to repeat what happened in the season finale from last week to take down Punk again. Let's see if he can do it. Or will Punk have a different answer, especially with a new pick of Colleen? Not going to be the Vega this time for this run back, but Colleen has been doing work so far. Again, eliminating one of the players earlier, taking out Problem actually.
But you have so much data now, right? You just fought NEPHEW. NEPHEW arguably the better Colleen, right?
Yep.
Ready with the conversion. Oh, okay. Big damage here. Hailstorm set up.
Oh, you thought you could frame kill just a little bit, but it wasn't enough, or at least it wasn't enough time.
Oh, the dash up. Got caught. First round.
He's so scared.
Oh, what? Angry Bird just called him out like that. He's so scared. What do you mean?
You can't just say that about Punk.
Right.
Oh, get him out of there.
Ready
You thought he was scared? Hell no.
Oh, there's the stun. You know, that option, that air throw option is an option we did not see NEPHEW go to deal with that corner pressure. He used Vanity Step, and both times it actually got him in trouble. Gets the conversion off the crouching heavy punch.
Oh, that's
gonna be a punish. Just push to the corner.
Plus, get him out of there. Try to chase. Yeah, tried to punish the V reversal, just slightly off the mark. And Punk finding solace in that full conversion. One round apiece in game one.
One thing that I like that's different from these two, from the two Colleens we just saw, is that what Punk goes to punish with has simpler punishes sometimes, and that just stops the momentum of Big Bird and gives Punk back the neutral that he likes to control.
That's what I like to see. That's very Karen-esque, right? He would go air to air with the target combo, but instead it's a lot easier. Just jumping in the air with a throw in quick reaction, quick fashion, I should say. And that's something NEPHEW kind of neglected when it comes to controlling the corner.
Trade combos, I got those, and then the crouching medium kick to send you on your way. Still one round apiece in this first game. Goes straight into CA. Spending a lot. I mean, I don't blame him though, right? Because this is the last round. Put a little pressure on your opponent, but Trigger is on the table. V-Trigger wanted to control the space, and we saw him use it to walk Colleen to the corner. Trigger's probably going to come out pretty soon. There it is.
Sarah dashing up in there as well, pointing her way back as she... What in the world?
And
that
the throw
is nasty.
to get the... It's long enough to stop the animation of the V-Trigger, but it's not done yet. Punk uses the trigger to get out. I like it. I like it in an anti-air.
From that far, man.
Oh my God, all he wants to do is random people out, bro.
You're playing so good. Don't worry about
just play.
Don't worry about the score. Just play your game. You're playing so good.
One of the things that we see Big Bird has a habit of doing, these close quarters games, and Punk is taking advantage of, he keeps going to the air.
That's the thing, too, because he can't handle the ground game.
Yeah.
Justin Wong just told him, you can't handle the ground. So again, NEPHEW added to that. He's like, you know, he's been whiff punishing a lot, so you just play your game and whiff punish.
Stand light kick. Oh, trying to use the medium kick. It's not working out. It's not working out, and Punk is just looking like he's running away with it in his second game, round number one.
Out of the corner there from Big Bird, had to spend a bar to use it. Crouching, medium punch for the anti-air to keep his control. Now the activation. That was great for Punk. Dashed up to eliminate the threat early.
Nice.
Okay, wait a minute. Big Bird has a chance here. Trigger activated, though, for Punk. Getting a little gray life as well. Crouching, heavy punch, no confirm. Wait a minute, still gets a conversion on the combo.
Crouching, heavy punch, and I like that option. That's something NEPHEW was not able to deal with.
Was not able to deal with it, and literally went to Vanity Step and put himself in a worse situation. So now you see Big Bird using that wall as a balancing act. Tries to get in. Punk overextends and eats a jumping heavy kick forward. Meets him in the air, spinning mixer to stop the pressure, and you know that was a big bet because he definitely would have died if that was blocked.
You were dead if you blocked that. Punk actually had a smirk on his face. He's like, I did appreciate that. That was a gamble that was worth. And you know, that's just part of life. That's just part of the game.
But you didn't block it. That's the whole thing.
The thing.
But you didn't block it. Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
You were talking about whiffing some of these normals, but now Big Bird has seemed to tighten up the spacing significantly, right? He's seeing all these targets and all finding the mark with the crouching heavy punch especially. That led to this entire sequence here. Now close to stun. We had to get that trigger going. That is a big crush. But no conversion, Steve.
Yeah, a little bit out of range right there and just wasn't prepared for the hit low forward, and the spinning mixer gets the knockdown, and it has Punk reaching a little bit out of his range, a little bit out of his depth. Uses that V trigger a little bit to get a throw. Oh, fighting out of the corner. Tries to use the whirlwind. Punk ready for the off the backboard jump with the throw. Oh, tick throw. Mixer to get the knockdown. Back fight to the middle of the stage, and anything can do it right now. How did Punk know he wasn't in range? Okay, spinning some meter. Gets this better situation. Knockdown in the corner. Mixer's right there, though.
Damn, that was a meaty icicle. I talk about no meat pop. Here we go. Oh, and you checked the... You still checked the low end, the movement. Punk was trying to evade the danger, but that's the problem, man. Rashid could close that gap so quickly. Good check.
I think when he's in the wall, just don't like chase if you have the life lead.
Punk told Big Bird backstage that he doesn't mind losing, but he does not want to lose to Big Bird specifically.
That's hurtful.
Look, they talk a lot of smack to each other. We've witnessed it firsthand. Okay, Parabellum.
Angry Bird was talking about Punk, saying, you know, he's nervous, he's scared. He's been dropping a lot of combos, but we see that drop coming from Big Bird instead. I don't know if it's going to be a huge detriment to his gameplay now. I don't know if it's going to psych Punk up. He's like, all right, who's the scared one now? Look at this.
Gets the forward throw. Punk looking good. 2 throws, but we've seen Big Bird run back games like this. Crouching heavy punch, go straight for the trigger. Mixer just to get the powered up push to the corner. What a check on the dash with the V trigger activation. This is set point, team battle point for Panda.
It's true. It's the final game, or at least potentially, right? Unless Big Bird can make that comeback happen, at least tying up the rounds, then we'll get ourselves that finale run back. Oh! Nice. Big whiff punish from the side of Big Bird. I got a little bit too excited off that one, but the cross-up is there. No conversion from both sides. It's a mess.
V reversal. I was wondering when we were going to see it. It's a lot of pressure coming from Rashid. Changes up the trajectory on that jump in with the dive kick, the evil spike. Just walking Big Bird to the corner did not work out. There's a tick.
And now the whirlwind shot to kind of back up the pressure afterwards. Yes, sir, you saw it just now, but Punk finds a way out of the corner. Big counter hit. Another hit. One more touch. Overhead gets blocked. This is a great punish. Now it's a full sequence from Punk, but Punk is still at a huge deficit. Yep. You knew it was coming. Punk knew it was coming, but check this out. He doesn't have any more meter to do it again.
Yep, but he does have V reversal when stun is right there. And that should be it. Sends him home with a little T, and that's gonna be the team battle point for Panda. And man, what a battle we just saw. God dang. I almost said something I don't think I could say, but wow. All right.
All jokes aside, man, they got the run back. Punk managed to take down the person he was gunning for the most. He did not want to lose to Big Bird nor this team again. And that's a great way to start it off, right? When you're talking about the first week of team battles, getting that W on the board feels pretty good. But I will say, it was mad close.
It was super. I mean, but if you remember the finals, that was some very, though a lot of those rounds could have went either way. A lot of those rounds could have went either way. The character switch up is obviously different this time around, as opposed to, you know, not having, who did he play last time? Vega versus Ken versus Big Bird's Ken. This time playing the Colleen versus the Rashid, and you know Punk is feeling that. He's like, bro, that was my Colleen. That's how he feels about it right now. Even saying he did not want to lose to Big Bird specifically says a lot. But there you have it. It's already in the books. This is a double round robin tournament, guys.
Yes, sir.
Just so you know at home, if you're new here, let me tell you, this is a double round robin tournament. All these teams will get the chance to play each other twice, but you can't ban the same character twice.
So let's talk about that for a second, right? When we talked about this matchup, it was NASR versus Panda. We talked about the bans that took place, right? NASR decided to pick Carrion to lock down Punk, and Panda decided to ban Bison to lock down Problem X. You're trying to see what transpired earlier. Like, if you just missed the matches, like, you're taking a look at NEPHEW versus ANGRYBIRD. That was indeed the run back from last season's finale. ANGRYBIRD took it down pretty convincingly against NEPHEW, but there was something about NEPHEW this time around that was completely different. Shutting him down 2-0.
That was a 2.
That was actually ridiculous.
When I tell you, it was literally like they had just played and made the adjustments instantly. Like, yeah, they were waiting on you. He's like, well, I'm now, this game, I'm going to wait longer. And that definitely feels like there's a little rivalry building up at this point now, especially with the fact that, once again, we don't get to see this kind of concentrated Street Fighter rivalry in front of us a lot, right? These guys are specifically aiming for each other, right? Like, you do this in the bracket all the time, right? You get to see your potential path. But the fact of the matter is, for Street Fighter League, it's different. You're fighting multiple top-tier, world-caliber class Street Fighter players who have multiple characters on top of that. Some of these guys got world championships under their belts, kumites under their belts, and all kind of events. Years of experiences going into this. And to see how all this is playing out, this big mixing pot of Street Fighter rivalries and personalities is actually going to be ridiculous. Speaking of personalities, we got one of the biggest ones, and the big winner today in this team battle is going to be Rob TV on the stage with Punk.
Could we really expect anything less from these two titans that we have, Panda and Team NASR? But of course, Punk, the God, had to clutch it out when it came down to the moment that mattered most, was able to stop an on-fire Big Bird. What were you thinking going into that match with Big Bird?
I pretty much already know what to do. Like, I know he's just trying to get in once because he knows that he'll never beat me in neutral. So he just want to get in once and then start his offense and just win from that. But if I can just shut that down, then he doesn't really, it's like the chances are very low for him to win. So as long as I can stop myself from getting cornered, and at least early in the match, and at least I can make him make a comeback and maybe guess right. And yeah, so I just need to stop him from going crazy.
I heard you actually off camera ask him, like, bro, why are you so random right after you actually got a W? And I think you brought up that he played a bit random in the finals as well. What do you mean when you say that he's playing random?
I don't know, he doesn't usually play like that, but for some reason here, he just like letting stuff go. He's doing like JBs, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what's wrong with I don't know what's wrong with my man Big Bird. He going crazy.
Okay, so of course, outside of just the Big Bird match, you did go up against Problem X. And I'll tell you what, me and I'm sure everybody at home, that's one of the matches that we are the most excited to see, you know, just throughout this entire season. Because I would say that you guys have a bit of a rivalry, but not in a toxic way or anything like that. Just, you always have to go up against each other in big tournaments. How confident were you going up against Problem X? And especially with the fact that you guys didn't have your main characters. Do you think that your secondaries are stronger than his in full power, or how do you think that matchup is?
Yeah, I think my secondary by far is stronger than Problems. Yeah, it's by far, I think so. I mean, I just think my secondary is by far stronger than everyone. So, like, it's not really a Problem X thing. And it kind of swung into my favor because, you know, I ain't got to deal with getting unblockable that I can't get out of no more, you know what I'm saying? Even though Bison is cheap and does beat Karen, but, you know, I mean Akira, though, so I don't even know why people even think that I play Karen these days.
Yeah, I mean, why would you even want to play Karen anyway? She's not even all that good. Yeah, it's like the amount of effort that it takes is just actually out of this world. No, definitely no bias. But with that being the case, of course, my guy Punk the God and Panda overall putting in work as we would expect. But before we toss to this break, I do want to give you guys a look at the Astro listening.
Nice.
Let's go.
He's just thirsty for the V trigger, and that's all he wants.
Yeah, so much slide.
Yeah, he's just thirsty for the V trigger. Just contain his dashes, and you know, you seen he tried to jump dive kick, so
yeah,
you got this. I mean, he's just trying to maul you. You just gotta just keep it solid, and he's probably going to start jumping and dashing now, especially jumping, so you might have to look out for that.
Yeah, look out for the jumps because I stopped his dash.
Punk's really gonna mash out parry on defense that much.
No.
Yeah, so you can kind of run it a bit more.
Yeah, Punk is more like he won't press a lot of heavies unless it's like slow punish. Yeah.
Also, he'll be ready to, like, he anti-airs only with crouch fierce.
Yeah.
With Seth, with Colleen. So if you want, you can jump dive kick. You can jump do that.
An electric match to end week 1 of Street Fighter League Season 4. I mean, we got 2 new teams on display. We had returning teams on display, all making big splashes, in all honesty. A few upsets, I would say, as well as a few surprising turn of events with some runbacks.
And that takes us into our current standings, right? Vodafone doing a great job sitting in first place with that current record over Team UIU. Then you see afterwards, NASR just falling short to the team that they beat last time in the season finale. But again, it's a different ballgame with Team Panda, with Justin Wong at the helm, a brand new NEPHEW, and a different outlook from Punk, right? No longer having the full-on champion mentality when it comes to the games. He saves it for the post-game interviews instead, right? We're seeing a whole different dynamic from Panda, and I'm excited to see it just down below, right underneath Vodafone Giants. It's a great start for both of these teams. When it comes to next week's battles, check it out. We have Bandits going up against Team NORDAVIND, as well as UIU going up against NASR.
The NORDAVIND is one of these teams I've been looking at for quite some time. They have a ridiculous team.
And the same goes for Team Bandits, right? The newly improved Team Bandits with MENARD and CABA. The brothers are back together again, no longer on separate teams.
And before we get out of here, guys, please do not forget to show a little love to Astro. Definitely been holding us down here. And the main headset and mix-up of Street Fighter League Season 4.
That's right. The great sound, durability, and clear comms is what you experienced here for this week's battles, right? You got to hear all the trash talking. You got to hear all the important insights from these players to get the upper hand. And again, they did so with the 840 headset. We highly encourage you guys to check it out with the Twitch panel below to pick yours up as well. They've been doing work in the FGC and continue to do so with their magnificent quality headsets.
Well, with that being said, man, I can't wait. Week 1 is already in the bag for Street Fighter League Season 4, but Week 2 is going to be just as good. We already told you what's on the line, and you don't want to miss it. Make sure that you're here next week and every week after Street Fighter League Season 4 continues.
Oh boy, side switch incoming, getting a little bit of extra damage, spending it for the slide. Watch out for back throw. Ooh, EX Eagle Spike.
He's out. You cannot do that. Oh, finally the counter.
That, though.
Finally the counter, and not ready for the cross-up. NEPHEW successfully gets the run back, leaves with a smile.
Being able to not have to charge and throw off his headbutt is going to be pretty good. Oh, but
it ain't
so
gonna be that good.
My man
that
reacted with a parry. Listen, that was damn hype. I don't know about y'all, but this guy has ridiculous reactions. Another hit, one more touch, over it gets blocked. This is a great punish. Now it's a full sequence for Punk, but Punk is still at a huge deficit. Yep, you knew it was coming. Punk knew it was coming, but check this out. He doesn't have any more meter to do it again.
Yep, but he does have V-reversal when stun is right there. And that should be it. Sends him home with a little T, and that's gonna be the team battle point for Panda. And man, what a battle we just saw. God dang.